side, and I think I mean they are right. I don't even know if it's been a defense. It's more been, you know, everyone just chill. Like we obviously all know that we're gonna have to take a step back before we can move forward. But it is still a real shocking sensation with watching this Astralis logo, this Astralis team not winning some of these matches that we know in the past they would have been able to handle easily. So just a tough transitional point for Astralis. But I mean, listen, the desk, you know, highlighted it pretty well. Also, Mousesports is still struggling also too. Like they're not exactly world beaters at the moment. They're a far cry from the team that ended 2019 on an absolute tear. So in some sense, this match is a little bit up in the air. I just cannot see a world where surely Mousesports does not let this slip away.
Yeah, I think they have it all lined up for them. They do seem, I mean, obviously they have their sort of their team that they've had for a little while at least. So, you know, like that makes a big difference. I think what both Maniac and Duncan were talking about, the system being sort of blown out from having 2 new players in the lineup, definitely will make a big difference. We're going to get into the game here. We're starting on Overpass, and now we're in best of 3 territory. Blast Premier coming up right now, and Astralis going to be starting on the CT side, Mousesports on the T side. And I'm not seeing anything super crazy out of Mousesports. I am loving that P250. I have to mention it. It's you know, it's just it's my thing now, Jason. But P250s on the T side of pistol round, I just think should be mandatory. I'm making them mandatory right now.
Okay, yeah, P250, maybe a run boost, throw it in there, the old Anders classic. Get something running around the corner. Yeah, I agree. I like the P250. I also really like this Overpass pick. We're going to see Astralis with the test early on as a map they were well versed on previously. Again, much like Nuke though yesterday, what I kept commenting with Astralis was this is a map that takes crazy amounts of coordination that they're just not going to have. So this is interesting. Here we go. Pistol round is live between Astralis and Mousesports, and we're going to start off these playoffs. Device, Magus, Yugi, Dupree, Snappy, all pushing. Okay. This is great. This is perfect. We're getting wild right off the bat. All 5 defenders coming down the staircase.
I have never seen this before. They had better win this fight because they're all here. Boxic getting a kill, Frozen with the follow-up. Oh no. If you get everyone here, at least go for the fight and try and win it, not one at a time. It's going to be a nice trade there. Snappy will get one on Frozen. And now the bomb is down, and this round got even more awkward. Even if you thought it wasn't possible, it certainly is. Snappy's low on health, but with Dupree and that USP, I mean, he could win this 1 versus 2 even if he needed to. Let's see. Robs and Kerrigan coming in from opposite sides, and Kerrigan will have to open the door. Man, this is a very, very hard round to predict.
Yeah, but I think that's a nice trap set up by Astralis. The unfortunate part is Mousesports now knows where these last 2 players are. They know both of them are going to be in the staircase. Rops needs to come behind. Dupree has Ascension taken away. Missed shot initially for Rops, but he's found it. And Snappy with 5 HP must be perfect. And the flashbang is a real rough start. And there's no way out of this. It's a battle to the death, and Rops is going to win that as well. I was wondering how those 5 players from Astralis were going to do it. And they actually do a pretty decent bait. 2 players peek, and even though they go down and get cleaned out, the follow-up push, Mousesports think they've negated this initial attack, and then they get caught in the middle of this hallway where there is no cover. So when this peek comes in for Device, they're all swinging, taking these fights, and that's the rest of Astralis coming. There's no way Mousesports would have expected that, but because of the way it all played out, Mousesports had all the information of where Astralis was.
Man, you'd love to see that same round play out again where, you know, Mousesports go long or they just go for the B-bomb side. You'd love to see the protocol that Astralis have in play to try and deal with that. Because obviously they must have had that conversation, you know, what if they don't actually show up? And what do we do from there on out? So, interesting variegation. And yeah, you're probably right about... Sorry, you're right about them just swinging, you know, with a couple of players and then going for the rest later on.
Yeah, the interesting thing too is especially it would have been interesting to see how it plays out because there was no kit, no utility for Astralis on the retake in that pistol. But that's all in the past now. We get to move forward. Chris J's been tagged up. Kerrigan has taken a hell of a lot of damage, down to 14 HP. 4 defenders at the B bomb site for the moment. It's Dupree pushed up in bathrooms, and no one from Mousesports is being aggressive enough to put any pressure on him. So this 4-man stack at B likely going to stick around.
1-0, yeah. I mean, the damage that's been done already is looking good. If they could just get one of the Galils or the AKs down low as well, that would, I think, would put a lot more pressure on Mousesports. I think they'll be all right with throwing away the UMP and the MAC-10 here. Coming through the smoke's incredibly dangerous. Molotov to put some pressure on Yugi, and that will work just fine. They clean up the defense. Scout is still in place, but I don't think that's not nearly as dangerous as it was 10 seconds ago.
Nah, but look at the health. That was actually pretty dicey for Mousesports. In fact, they slow played it until Astralis puts a smoke up in Monster, and then they just had a pop flash through the smoke, so even that was a risky decision. But they do crack their way into the bomb site. It's going to be 2-0. Dupree had bought armor, a 5.7, and a kit, so he was all ready for his teammates at the B bomb site to deliver something special so he could come in for the defuse. Either way, him and Device going to keep these weapons for the next round. Not going to get into any fights down the stretch. So good start for Mousesports with 2-round lead.
Yeah, danger has been averted. Always feels good. We have seen a lot of conversions of these second rounds, given the fact that all of the CT sites are now just, you know, putting as much weight as they can into these rounds if they lose the pistol. So, yeah, we do see that more often. But Mousesports not with any issues. And now all they have to face is a Scout and a 5.7. So things should be fine. Seeing a pause being called by Kerrigan, so we'll find out what that's about in just a second. Everyone is stretching and, you know, sort of getting ready, and it's not even so bad in Europe. Jason, what time is it where you are?
It is 6:38 a.m. in the morning, Anders. My alarm went off 1 hour and 40 minutes ago. So
I wish they would have.
It's.
I really wish they would have told you to come up like, you know, like 3 hours early for prep for rehearsal or something. That would have been funny.
That would have been one of those days where I'm just like, listen, guys, no.
We're gonna need to wake up at
It's like,
3
I'll see you when I see you. Oh. This brings me back to the old days of waking up at 5 a.m. It's a bit rough, but it's all right. We've got some top level Counter-Strike. I went to bed early as well, Anders. I did it smart. That's how I know I've become an adult. I adjusted my bedtime to like 8:30, 9 p.m. And that was a responsibility that I'm really not used to having.
Yeah, I didn't think you had it in you. I thought for sure you'll be up to midnight and it's gonna be really rough. Well, I'm proud of you. Here we go. They're going for a double HE inside of the bomb site. We'll see if they can do some damage with it. It goes pretty deep, but actually a kill on Dupree there. A lot of return damage coming out, and another grenade landing on Yugi there. So still a 3-on-3, but that's a pretty good output from Astralis, having, again, nearly nothing in the round. That actually worked really well.
Ooh, I don't know if okay, Chris J does grab the AK-47. I was going to say I almost would like Mousesports to just stick around. They have the AK-47s. They've taken out Dupree, who had the 5.7. They should know it's going to be most of the USPs. You can use the advantage of those rifles and just line up along the back wall and get those distance fights, but not wanting to mess, I guess, with Device, with the Scout, or any other trickery that was going to be at that B bomb site. So here they are, two players, Frozen and Rops, coming through the underpass. Chris J is still outside of the B bomb site looking for a push, so I'm wondering if Frozen and Rops might actually just come out the door and re-aggress on B. Device is trying to get an early spot on defense from A, and that's kind of the information that they can pull the other players back, but it also allows Snappy and Magus to stick around at the B bomb site.
And Magus is within one-shot range of that 5.7. I mean, even with head armor, they're going to go down if they come this close. He's turning right into them now. That could be really dangerous. There's a kill right there as they drop Magus, and now I'm not so sure. I mean, hiding back here, Snappy. Would have been great if he could have found just even one kill there, but it's gonna be tricky. Sneaking around the low ground, and with the bomb down, I think the odds have swung pretty heavily in favor of Mousesports. All of a sudden, they realize where that Scout is gonna be. Nice enough damage, but it will be a round for Mousesports. Robs with a triple.
Yeah, nice round from Rops. 7,300 in the bank for him, and I hope they stick on those glills. Some money management. Rops is going to drop an AWP over to Woxic, so that gets out right at the start from Mousesports. Device equally has his as well. AWP with no armor. He's got Molotov, smoke, nades. So actually going for utility. He obviously could have afforded the armor, but he wanted the nades. We'll see how that pans out. Dupree and Device going to be aggressive. Device with that op heading up towards Party, or Picnic, excuse me, and calling it off. Actually, I guess both of those work.
They double-naded Frozen. He's down to 36. They just threw them right at the little slide there.
Over the wall?
Over the wall. I'm pretty sure both Dupree and Device. Actually, Dupree still has his. So was it just one grenade? How did he take so much damage?
Might have just been a perfect grenade out of Device. Well done. Maybe some team damage. We didn't catch it, so we never know.
Yeah, I'm
nice
so
shot
confused.
from Woxic. he picks off Device. That's a deep angle in bathrooms. You don't often see the T get that pick, especially on Device. He's usually on point, but Dupree has a perfect lurk coming up the stairs, and they're not considering this. They're not even watching for it. Oh, but the footsteps force him back.
But that, oh, and that's a fight he needs to win. I mean, if he does, it's hard for him to swing up and get more kills, but that actually does leave the A-bomb side in a lot of trouble. Even if he just stayed alive, it would have probably been a bit better. Magisk with a fantastic double kill, and he's going to swing for more. I can't believe he's still fighting it. Now backup is here, and Astralis might have a very good chance. The bomb is down. Mousesports, I don't know how they don't win this. This is 3 on 5 that they're about to throw away. Low on health, and with the bomb dropped in front of the site.
It's all on Frozen. Woxic is being passive so he can save the AWP if need be. That's a perfect flashbang. Good find, but not the kill. What a huge hold from Snappy. And I don't know if Woxic wants to go for this. He's got no HP. The AWP is going to be valuable. We saw the pick it provided even in a losing effort. He can drop a weapon over as well, but he's going to stick around for far too long. First round on the board for Astralis, and what a recovery.
Yeah, I mean, definitely recovery, and definitely, I don't know about Mousesports. They weren't even under that much pressure. Look at this, when they're fighting here, there's still 40 seconds left, and they're sort of acting like there's only 10 seconds. They're really, I think, maybe putting themselves under a little bit more pressure than they needed to there. So, I mean, good job on Astralis, but that was also slightly helped by Mousesports, I think, losing track of the round there.
And look at the other bad side of Woxic sticking around. It's a free AWP over to Device. He gets to have that weapon without reinvesting. All of Mousesports heading over towards him as well. Good opening kill from Woxic, this time with the AK-47. Now pushing in. There is still that AWP, but he's got to be mindful of short sewers. Turn to the corner. Another big kill, and another big miss from Device.
Oh, Kerrigan and Frozen will just follow it up, and I mean, that was just the cleanup part. They pretty much had the bomb site already, and that's a very rough start now for Astralis, because just winning that one round with 2 people alive, going into maybe at best saving an M4 in this round, that's going to put a tremendous amount of pressure on them all of a sudden, especially given the round loss bonus. That's, you know, not even anywhere near what they would what they'd like here. So yeah, Mousesports getting some sweet revenge early on.
I'm way more worried about the individual level that we've seen Astralis start this game with. Obviously, Magisk has been okay, but Device missing 2 shots early on with the AWP that you'd imagine he'd normally hit. Woxic has been able to find the opening pick in straight duels against him twice now. It's a missed shot over towards Sandbags, and Woxic was able to pick him off in the 4th round with the AWP as well. And Device's AWP was a huge point of power for Astralis on this map specifically. So if he's not going to be there, if he's not going to be delivering, that's a worrying sign.
Well, especially because, you know, the analysts were sort of painting this picture, which, again, I agreed with. You know, it's like the system is gone for Astralis, and again, that's completely to be expected. But then you'd have to say, well, at least we still individually could do it. But if we're seeing early on in this game that, well, individually there's some struggles too, that's when it gets really tricky. Kerrigan take it away with the Galil, which is somehow still alive. Both Snappy and Dupree. So this is a tough beginning. We are in best of 3 territory, so I mean they've got a little bit of runway. There's overtimes to be played now, no more ties, but still, yeah. How do you think Semler's feeling right about now, Jason? You have some thoughts on that?
Nah, he's probably feeling like an idiot. I don't know. That's how I'd assume. It's okay. Nice shot from Chris. Rops is going to move in as well. I don't know. I understand. He wants the, you know, he's feeling good. He was at the top of the prediction scoreboard for a couple of days. It's not a feeling that he's used to. You know, he's just letting his excitement get the better of him here in this kind of a pick. He's looking to extend the lead. Doesn't realize, you know, when you have that lead, it's okay to just play it safe once in a while.
Well, that's the classic, isn't it? Oh, but if I've got the hot hand, listen, I'm on the other side. I'm making crazy predictions from being at the bottom of the scoreboard. I'm like, you know, the only way to get back is
but that's no different for you. You do that no matter where you are in the standings of predictions.
That is my issue. I'm consistently crazy, whereas Samlo only intermittently crazy. We all like consistency, don't we? Especially if we could get it out of Astralis here. That would really turn things around. Device over
early damage for Astralis on a Mousesports.
Yeah, just a little bit, but I mean that's not always helped them, has it? Like they've still lost rounds even if they've managed to do this. They have very limited grenades on the CT side, and that setup over at long is going to be quite far away.
I wonder if they saw that little boost that came in. Rops, you saw a helmet just walk underneath that wooden plank. Rops is going to challenge. I think that's a team flash. That's very awkward for Rops. Snappy not taking a wide angle, though. Big kill for Magisk, and Rops didn't commit with it. I don't know if this was supposed to be a fake or some kind of aggression, but one-on-one fights across the map for Mousesports. I mean, no trades, and Astralis is looking good.
The bomb is all the way back in T-spawn, so you almost have to assume that they were just looking for an entry. Maybe there's some play that Mousesports wanted to do that would give them some information about what the setup was for Astralis. Like maybe they've been watching demos or something, but it just seems so aggressive. Now they're just going to be saving out where the techno party is.
Yeah, I guess I could only imagine that they wanted to take a fight, have Kerrigan maybe challenge in Monster, and maybe force someone back into the crosshair of Rops, who is maybe swinging to take a fight at ramp, and just see if you can find, you know, some individual headshot angles for Rops or flush someone into his crosshair for an easy kill. Obviously, none of that works out well at all. It's a 3-round lead for Mousesports, 5-2 as that round just fades away. And Frozen and Kerrigan have plenty of money to rebuy. So for Astralis, with that many players, with all of their players surviving and around timeout, they get to actually build some money, which is a great benefit for them. So Mousesports giving away part of their economic advantages, but we'll see if they can return the favor here.
Yeah, interesting turn of events. Especially if they can pick up this next one. I think we haven't really seen Astralis, you know, with sort of continued success. Oh, big risk from both players there. Device probably the one who had the bigger chance of actually getting a kill, but also risky, I would say, from Woxic just making that run. Again, they've taken a lot of damage early on from grenades, which is, you know, used to be a classic type experience you'd have playing against Astralis.
It's good to see that still around. Surely not all of their gameplay was going to drift away. So it's nice that the nades are still working. Kerrigan and Woxic clearing out the bathrooms. Out towards long. Dupree tucked into the corner. Device is back into the site at the default plant boxes, and Snappy's going to be well, and the 1-for-1 trade was perfect to set up the bait. Now it's all on Magisk, and it's all on Yugi.
Magisk got the perfect position to get a kill here. Oh no, Robs! Able to land a headshot. That's absurd. Good return from Yugi, and that may stabilize things a little bit. It was about to get out of control. Yugi dropping a bit low, 9 seconds, and the bomb is going to be planted here. Running in close, and one at a time. That's not quite what you want. Snappy will take down Frozen, and Robs low on health, and a grenade will take care of him. Great job from Snappy. 3 kills on him. You say that was a beautiful play from Astralis, but I'm gonna call that a rat play. Who does that? Who flashes someone in at the corner and has another guy hiding behind? Like what kind of play is that? It worked, but rat plays often do.
Yeah. It did work. They had to have had the information. You don't commit that much manpower to that play if you don't know they're kind of creeping up towards long. So I really like that, because you're exactly right. You're never going to expect a second player in that corner. The player who pushes and peeks with that flashbang is usually that guy. This is the confusing one. Rob's able to win that battle against Magisk, who is usually rock solid in that. And a deep nade that actually wasn't even really on point. Actually kind of had the wrong location for that nade, but it still pans out.
Yeah, he was
5-3.
He was so low in health, wasn't he? The shrapnel did it. Did they upgrade some of the stair grenade problems that we used to have? I haven't seen any of those.
They did
bugs lately.
They did change it. Yeah, it's not as harsh as it used to be. There's not like one water bucket that's gonna take all the damage away.
Yeah, well that's good news. I've noticed it less, but I don't know if it's actually happening less. Guess we'll have to pay attention even more. Device getting flashed and running back. They're coming for him. Almost catching him. Now, there's the headshot. Back of the head. And Snappy now wants to follow it up. The Molotov behind him. There's going to be a guy waiting there. That is so smart from Woxic. Now, he will get returned upon by the bomb site. No, the bomb is back there. Oh, God. This round is just spun into complete chaos here.
It's all good. The timing is so messed up, and Rops is just surprising Dupree from behind. And it's all quickly down to Yugi. What a change of pace for Mousesports. You have to love that. But again, it's kind of sadly funny as Woxic being the one guarding the flank. But again, he's caught off guard by a third player in that location. And he's just got to be like, what is happening?
Yeah, every time he's counting in his head, like, how many people should realistically be here? It's like, just add one more Woxic at this point. They're obviously crazy.
I will say that entrance kill that Frozen gets on Device is so important that he does that before Device gets comfortable, because if Device is able to have maybe another second to really set his feet and get comfy after the retreat and after the flashbang, that op in that position on the staircase could have just shut all of that down, especially in Device's hands. So an all-important headshot right off the bat. Yugi's going to save his AWP, and the money is not looking good for Astralis either. So Mousesports going to extend this lead. 4 players survive for them as well, so they're still flush with cash. And it just keeps getting more and more difficult for Astralis to hang on.
And that's an important frag from Frozen there. Yeah. This is again, we've seen some stuff out of Astralis, but it's really, you know, it's really stop and go, isn't it? Like they're never actually getting to sort of sprint anywhere. It's just all a little bit uphill at the moment. 10th round about to roll in. Mousesports with money to buy, obviously, winning the round. Double up on Astralis. So, again, that's sort of the benefit of them winning one of the previous rounds with no one going down where Mousesports was saving. So, we'll see. Snappy currently top of the board for Astralis with 8 kills. And Rops on the other side.
Yeah, well, it's Rops on the other side for Mousesports.
Wow.
Yeah, 12-2 for him. He's having a fantastic game, which is good to see. We've talked a lot about how this team seemingly changes, the dynamic changes, the power of them changes when Woxic is playing well. Rops is another one of those players, obviously, who just can hold on and carry a team through stretches all by himself. So yeah, double up setup, and you can see Astralis. No reason not to buy around these 2 AWPs. They need to get back in this game. This might be their last chance to hold on to some presence in the first half. Mousesports is going to have a real opportunity to just wipe them off the map if they can win this.
Ooh, Yugi falling back around the corner. He could have got caught. Well, scratch it. He got caught. Just from Kerrigan coming up the stairs.
That's an internal clock missing for Yugi. He was obviously put under so much pressure. He was falling away from Frozen. Kerrigan having a different angle. That's awkward for Kerrigan. And the bomb is dropped way far back. So this aggression, all it's really doing at the moment, which is useful, is taking Molotovs away from the defense. What a great kill for Kerrigan.
Yeah, and Snappy had the MP9, so that was going to be a really bad fight for Snappy no matter what. Device out on long, going to get 1 kill. Deep grenade goes in, but just to try and set up a little bit. Dupree forced into the fight, and the flames will catch him at the end, even if he got that kill. Magus is well aware that someone could be down here, and Robs is going to be careful. If he runs too much here, Magus heard that. He's going to turn around and be ready for the fight. So a 2-on-2, and the bomb is not planted yet, just now getting into position. Device sneaking around, and yeah, they're going for a smart bomb plant position here, and not exposed to Device. But can they get out from this bomb site? Are they going to be stuck on it? Frozen and Woxic, if they can win this round, all the money gone for Astralis, and a big chance all of a sudden for Mousesports to really cement this first half. Oh, peeking right in. I think he wanted to shoulder peek that, but Device rock steady, not showing himself and not firing that gun too early. And now Woxic in a 1 versus 2. Can he do this? No kills in the round yet. He's going to miss a shot there and actually bounces into the bank. And that's a bit awkward. 3 seconds on the defuse and a nice shot. 1 second. Oh! What a play coming out! That is magnificent.
After all the shots he missed, for him to get those 2 right at the end, that is phenomenal work from Woxic. I cannot believe it. Everything going wrong for Astralis. That retake looked rock solid. Mousesports almost gave up a round where they had such a massive advantage. This is a beautiful 2 versus 2 for Magus and Device, but a better 1 versus 2 from Woxic. And that had to have been right at the last moment.
Oh, I'm not laughing at Sonic, but some of the reactions are great. Oh, we got Mousesports phase cams.
Man, he deserves,
wow,
like,
Chris J for
special
president. That would be
having a hookah.
Yeah. He's ready. He's perfected his life. What a great time.
That was the best fan cam I've seen this entire week.
He's like, how do I set this up? If I can just get maybe some chicken nuggets, a hookah, and watch some Counter-Strike. Fair play.
I know. He's winning the game. It's beautiful. Here we go. Kerrigan gonna lead the way, and Monster, there's nobody at this B bomb site. Can we just get a picture-in-picture of that kid?
Yeah, let's get him full time. Now, here's another thing, though. I wonder what would happen if Chris J did run for president of Netherlands, I guess, Holland, whatever you prefer. Probably gonna upset a lot of people.
I haven't spent much time. I haven't spent much time in the Netherlands, but I have to imagine someone who's known for starting his career by wearing pajama pants onto the big stages would be a perfect president for that part of the world.
Yeah, I mean, the Dutch are a bit crazy. I could see that working out.
I think Chris J has missed a real big branding opportunity with like his own line of pajama pants that we've just missed out on. And part of it's probably, the increase of professionalism in professional Counter-Strike. But man, I feel like you could have had a very successful line of PJs.
Yeah, well, I mean, we say this a lot, right? But players do need more, personal branding opportunities. There's stuff out there. I mean, JDM could have had like a whole line of mattresses, maybe just lying down on a mattress playing Counter-Strike, not even leaning anymore, just all the way back. Maybe. I do wonder what would happen to the Counter-Strike space once someone makes the switch from professional player into politics. That's certainly going to be exciting. 12th round is coming up, though, and it's 8-3 in favor of Mousesports, with Astralis, I mean, only really building a tiny bit of economy throughout this game and just continuously struggling. And those are some of the reasons why, and they might go for it. They've got two inside of the monster tunnel. Yugi going to go and fight, but he goes down. That's probably the round done unless they can catch Frozen with the bomb, but wow. That's an easy round to win. 2 kills separately, no real response.
We've been seeing this whole half as well. Astralis, there are just some like gunfights that we normally would see them win, that they're just not winning. And it's not just the players, Snappy and Yugi, that haven't been part of the team. We've seen Device miss some op shots. We've seen Dupree miss some fights where he's holding the angle. Obviously, Megas has had a pretty tough time. So the entrances for Mousesports have just been very powerful throughout this half. And this is slipping far and away from Astralis.
There was a very cool game that Astralis, with the sort of let's say the original core, played against Fnatic during the Road to Rio, and they played they played 3 of them, but one of them was on Overpass, and I've rewatched that game maybe 20 times because I was trying to do some content around it, and so I sort of familiarized myself a lot with both those teams, and even though this is not the same Astralis, just to say, one of the key takeaway and highlights from watching that game was, I think in that game, Astralis win like 3 or 4 rounds in the first half when they're on their CT side. Their T side was amazing against Fnatic, but their CT side was dreadful. And one of the problems that just kept recurring is, one, they kept getting picked apart one at a time where there could be no return. Like, there's no one nearby that could refrag anything. The other thing is, some of the successful rounds were the ones where they actually went aggressive, when they had like setups where they said, okay, we're going to flash our way into a fight. We're going to go and do something cool like that. See if they actually try and do it here. No, not quite. But anyway, those were some of the rounds that I really liked out of them versus Fnatic. So I'd love to see some more of that out of Astralis. This is a good start, though. The same kind of fight for Kerrigan there, but this time Megas comes out on top.
Well, it started that as well, turning that corner into short sewer, and he got dinked by the spam from Snappy right through the wall. So he was already having a bad time before Megas puts him down. Still, it feels like they're lined up to really stick around this B bomb site, because there's only one player over towards Party. Everyone else is lined up here, and the odds have just gotten worse for Astralis, and it makes sense. They're getting absolutely beaten up and bruised on this map. Molotov out. Megas is going to transfer over.
I actually thought the odds would be much worse than that. I was expecting even more of a drop in the stock.
some residual faith in Astralis. That's a huge, huge kill from Frozen. Dupree, the timing not with him. He was just peeking into bathrooms to have some information. This is going to pull one defender away from the B bomb site, so Mousesports actually have an advantage no matter which side of the map they go to. It's just going to be Device here, eating a nade for his trouble. And he's the only one defending at the moment. There's still 2 players that are being cautious over at the B bomb site. Device at some point is going to have to take a risk.
They have 2 more smokes and a Molotov, so they can just keep smoking that all day. I don't even think they care. They're going to walk away. They've just realized that we just can't get through here.
Yeah, but I feel like, and again, with the scoreline, this is a very small criticism in a way, but this is Astralis being too much of Astralis. At some point, you are down 3-9, you are going to give this up and be down 3-10, and it feels like you have to take the risk to actually go for it. Like, the Device star player, for a long time, he had a one-on-one at that A bomb site. He could have moved in. Dupree hadn't seen anyone else other than Frozen. Go challenge that. Go see if you can keep your team in this round. You don't have the op. You don't have to worry about saving that powerful weapon.
I mean, I don't disagree at all, but you have to imagine that first they're going to have to build the sort of the core confidence in this team and some of the fundamentals, and then they'll start to get back into that level where they feel like that's going to be happening a bit more. So yeah, again, like, I mean, I kind of agree with
what.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I just think at this stage, you're looking, when you're getting this beaten up, this destroyed. I know you're kind of in a team that's a bit discombobulated and disorganized, but you're also looking at, this is where your star players are supposed to be able to carry you through stretches of this turmoil. You're supposed to have, as the desk outlined as well, the system is gone, but you have guys like Magus and Device who are incredible individual talents. You have Dupree, who's been able to deliver on the big stages. Your stars at some point are going to have to carry you through a half here and there as things are figured out.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I think, a wonderful bonus. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I would focus on if I was Astralis right now. If I would try and say, guys, you know, we're going to build the fundamentals in between tournaments and in practice and all the rest of it. So don't worry about it so much now. Just try and have a good time. Try and make sure that this actually feels like a team and a unit more than anything else. But yeah, it's rough to do that in just a couple of days, I guess. We're certainly not seeing it just yet. 10-3 as Mousesports try and go for the B bomb side. All of them coming through the monster tunnel. Frozen lurking on the other side. Rob's going down. The heavy hitter for Mousesports here, taken out of the fight early on. So that's an important kill from Yugi. And now surely calling in a little bit of teamwork or a little bit of backup here. Magus is holding the sewer tunnel, so he knows no one is coming through there. And that kind of all falls apart for Mousesports. They don't actually get anywhere.
Yeah, and Device saw Frozen get along that wall, so an easy pick for him. Astralis is going to get to a 4th, surely. It's a 2 versus 5. I really like the play Kerrigan was trying to make, jumping over the toxic barrels with the smoke there, but a tick of the Molotov gave the sound cue away, and Magus going to only get the 1. Bit of a scrappy fight. Chris J dropped by Dupree, trying to turn the angle. So Astralis return the favor. 4 players survive. They'll have a full buy for the last and the final round of the half.
1 kill for Yugi, and then I think the fact that the smoke is up on that side and Snappy's in that position, I mean, there's not that many factors combining for a win, but it was just enough. Slight head tilt from Kerrigan, nothing extraordinary. Just a little bit of frustration, but 15th round is coming up. Let's see. Again, I just want to point this out. When they were playing Fnatic, and I know it's not the same team, they had something similar. They certainly didn't have more than 4 rounds. I think it was maybe even 3, and they almost made a comeback. They almost ended up, you know, running it back on the T side. So I wouldn't underestimate Astralis, even though, again, it could be worse this time, but definitely their CT sides on overpass have been tested before. A little bit of a swing for Kerrigan, and again, a good opening. Magus burning, and he has to reveal his position over on that side, and Frozen will just be able to pick that kill up. Now it's a 2-on-2, good swing, and Dupree nearly getting a double kill. Device on the other side, he has an HE, that would do it. I'm not sure if he's got the confidence to try and throw it. A little bit too far away there, and if he knows how low Frozen is, pistol is going to be better than the AWP in this one.
Where's the Molotov going to go for Frozen? When does he deploy that? Device does have a smoke to put it out if it's on top of the bomb, but might not be time for this. I think Device at this point just has to smoke off the bomb and go for it. Frozen wheels it perfectly. Instant headshot onto Device. The sound cues the whole way. That's something special. 13 kills for Rops, 11 rounds for Mousesports. They've got a massive lead going into the second half. We'll see if Astralis can come back right after the break. Stay tuned.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second week here.
We've got the best teams in the world and complexity.
But Flamey is his kryptonite again. Oh! This is it. It's a bulldozer.
We have fun, we're going to play good. We may lose some shit rounds, but you just brush it off, and if we win some good rounds, we cheer. That's all it
This
is.
is the best team in the world going up against a team who, you know, hasn't even been able to qualify for the major yet.
Just trying to buy time, flanking around, punching him down, and he tries to immediate defuse. He's right there with the kid. Oh my god, I can't believe it. 16 and 12.
Yeah, I've seen every big CSGO match ever. I can tell you that would already be like a top 5 upset of all time.
Simple could catch. Oh! The shutdown.
This isn't the Astralis that I know.
Trying to get in the pit. Can he stand tall one last time? He lies. Oh no! A beautiful spray. Electron saves it. 16-14. Now we do it.
Was ready for vitality versus complexity. I introduce you to North America's newest juggernaut.
16-6 as they take down vitality.
Complexity have one last beast to challenge.
They wanted to build Juggernaut, but we want to destroy the Juggernaut.
Of course. 16 rounds to Navi's favor. Victories on Train and Mirage.
And the Navi Storm has come and conquered today.
It's an exciting, you know, couple of days that we've had here, and it doesn't feel like we've had any losers other than maybe Astralis.
Wow, no losers but Astralis. That's some timely video being played right there, Jason. I mean, there's the whole thing about history repeating itself and all that. Doesn't feel like it's too far away.
Are we allowed to call January history at this point? Like, I know technically that's true, but
Jason, this has been a long year. Like, just a long... Yes, we are allowed. January is ancient history at this point in time.
all right, fair play. Well, all 5 members of Astralis on the T side grouped up together on this T pistol round, much like the CT pistol round. They're going to head out towards long, and if you're doing this, I guess you're just hoping that you won't be spotted for some time, like maybe no one from Mousesports is watching this for a moment. And this is a nice way to get close without any information just yet, and it's finally spotted. Chris J, I think, sees it there. Now it's a little bit late. He's blind. He's falling back. This is high octane from Astralis.
Woxic, there's Chris with a headshot, and Woxic will continue. Oh, ho, ho!
Oh my
Taking
dear
out
God.
3 players, all of them single taps. That was a truly spectacular round from Woxic so far. And Snappy, they're even giving him a little bit of a, you know, gentleman's treatment. They're fighting him one at a time. They should do that. They should say, you know what, just one at a time, go fight him, give him a shot here. It's been a rough game for Astralis.
This was a rough pistol round for Astralis. They didn't even really get any clean fights on their own execute. There was, I think, a counter flash, I'm assuming, from Mousesports that blinded everyone. Snappy gets double peaked. 12-4 for Mousesports. Both pistol rounds won by Mousesports. And that feels like all she wrote for Astralis. I don't know how they're going to get back into this game, especially with Woxic hitting shots like this. What a nice triple kill.
Yeah, it's doubtful, isn't it? I actually think with that kind of a play where they're running out long, what they'd probably love more than anything is to catch, let's say, someone playing close restrooms on the long side. Like, they'd love to have a 5-man fight against 1 or 2 people there and then just, you know, charge the bomb side. I actually don't think they were expecting that Mousesports would be all the way back at the A side, just, you know, sniping away at them. We have got 5 smokes and armor and deagles here for Astralis. Maybe it's not that unusual, but it's a little bit.
It stinks of desperation, Anders. And it's just going from bad to worse as Dupree, with that $2,000 investment, gets killed through a wall. So we didn't get a chance to use it. Magisk wants that challenge. That's a clean fight for him. Good return onto Kerrigan. So we have the equalizer. Still 4 smokes and 4 deagles on the board for Astralis. Device has been spotted halfway up bathroom. So that'll put the defense at A on notice. And back to B we go. I think there's a timing that Astralis need to hit here, while the A defense is still worried about bathrooms for the moment.
I'm upset that they don't have flashbangs. I mean, the original sort of Astralis lineup, one of the coolest things about their B execute is the ridiculous flashbangs they throw. They just hit everywhere. It's almost impossible to actually be inside a B and not get flashed by it. So, smokes, I'm not so sure I'm going to be as impressed. Good start here, though, from Device, and the follow-up, and not really the smokes, but the deagles certainly doing a lot of work. And it helps that they can put the bomb down behind that. Sniper spot has been smoked off as well. Now they've taken a FAMAS and an MP9, and I don't know, good shot on Device at least. But still, this is going to be a very rough retake. They have a kit at least, but no grenades. And we'll see. Moving their way in pretty quickly here. Half health on Woxic. So for the deagles, he's not going to be much of a challenge. And well, neither will Chris. Well done.
What a shot from Magisk. That was filthy. He's going to get Woxic at the end as well. A quad kill for Magisk in the round. That pop flash defense towards Monster, we see it happen so frequently. The flashbang comes in so late. The coordination, even when he jumps over and spots one player deep in Monster, it takes another like 3 seconds for them to organize the pop flash from there. And at that point, they're already turning the corner and they're past his crosshair. So bit of a miscue for the Mousesports defense at the B bomb site. Obviously, still such a massive lead that they can recover. But even with a diminished Astralis, there's just no reason to give them a chance to get back into this game.
No, I agree. I mean, just I expect that T side will be better, all things considered, even if there will have been a lot of changes. So yeah, I would say, I mean, still a comfortable lead, but don't give them the opportunity. A single flashbang on Kerrigan and a lot of deagles. Man, I hope they go fight at a birthday party and just, you know, try and lure Astralis into that open ground around the fountain, and then just pop it in. We'll see.
Okay, well, you might get your wish. You're getting 2 players pushing up along highway, 2 players pushing up long.
Where is he going to flash from? He's way on the other side, Kerrigan. Could he throw it over the wall from down there? Surely not. Robs will get a kill regardless.
Oh, yeah, Device gets lured into that, but Robs is in some trouble from behind, and I don't think Magisk saw any of the long aggression either. There's a trap being set up right now that could be very effective for Mousesports. Any peek out towards long, Magisk is all on his own.
And if he gets the kill on Chris, is he going to expect Woxic to swing from behind that rock as well? Who knows? They're coming in for a little bit more. So now it's, you know, slightly favoring Astralis, I would say. There's the first challenge. The deagle on the other side. Good shot from Woxic, but Yugi not even a little bit pressured there. Good handling with the AK-47. And now it's a 2-on-3. Bomb far back. Snappy is about to go and check out B and find it empty, but oh! That's a nice pick-off from Kerrigan. He just had the perfect timing. I think Dupree was just checking it. And now he can actually catch the bomb. This just got real awkward. Yugi, Yeah, it's time to stop walking. Kerrigan is right there with the deagle, and it's not going to make that one work. So now it's on Frozen.
Yeah, but he's got an AK-47. He's got armor and a Molotov as well. If he can hustle into here and get an early one-on-one battle, he's just got to do it quietly is the problem. No sound made on the drop. Bomb planted. He has at least the idea of Yugi as the first player. Oh, and he spots him out, but Yugi gets behind cover just at the perfect moment. The Molotov. Frozen doesn't know where to deploy it. Yugi could have moved far back, and if he throws it behind the pillar, it just won't be effective, and I think that's the clutch. Frozen's just going to back away with the AK-47. He gave it the old college try, and now he gets to just save a rifle for the next round.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's still a pretty good round out of Mousesports, and I think, you know, just in terms of their own confidence, not getting wiped, you know, completely in the beginning of this half, even if they've, you know, lost a couple of rounds here, still managing to put up a bit of a fight. Good round from Yugi. He's really, I mean, I'm kind of looking at Yugi and Snappy as the players that I want to see them find some confidence within the team. Like, the team as a whole has to find whatever the new level is, but I also want to know, like, how are they going to be feeling, right? Because I've seen some of the games where they are sort of some of the ones that are at the bottom of the scoreboard. Not that that's the only indication of what's going on, but it's just, I think it would feel good for them to have a couple of good games.
Ooh, deep nades. Walks it gonna challenge. Ooh, that one shot. Device is close up. He's gonna go down. Not even a chance for a follow-up shot. That's pretty desperate to begin with. Where's that AK-47 on Frozen? It's at this B bomb site. It's getting aggressive in short waters as well, looking for a door open. That's Yugi on the other side, and Frozen can't win it. He's done decent damage, but just off the mark.
It's a good idea, even if it doesn't really
They
work
should
out.
just throw that AK. They should throw that AK over the walls. You're not going to save it for the next round. Astralis is going to go for the hunt.
With 3 people alive, Robs has got a Zeus. He's ready to tase someone, but he's got caught already. Dupree ruining all of our fun. I think you saw him out of the truck. And you may have been right, Jason, but I mean, I still think that's early to capitulate.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Would you have thrown it
free
over?
AK pass back over to Astralis.
If someone told
Probably
you,
not, but
no, you would have said, "I'm going to do this."
It's a whole. Yeah, it's a whole do as I say, not as I do thing. So, here we are. 12-7, Anders. Are you feeling the comeback? Does it feel positive for you yet, or are you still going to wait to pass judgment?
No, but I think it's going to be closer than maybe people were expecting. I don't actually think Astralis will make the full comeback here, but I think it's going to be, you know, at least double digits for them. Like a 16-12 type affair, I could see. Kerrigan with a little bit of an attempted spray. Good follow-up from Frozen. Dangerous if they would have got the kill on him too. Now the bomb is on the wrong side of the monster tunnel for Astralis to try and really fall back. Maybe they could pick it up, but it's cost them a lot already. Good return. Oh, Magus, that's a nice double headshot. And that will clear the whole way through. Chris J and Woxic fighting to stay alive in the round, but that was the last chance they had right then and there. What a ridiculous comeback for a Magisk.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty standard fight setup. You could see, I believe Frozen was probably calling for a flashbang like we saw them mistime previously in the second round. I think he was calling for that same flash, but Rops just didn't have any. Frozen actually had the only flashbang, and from there, that's a pretty weak setup, I think, if you don't have utility. Once Kerrigan went down and that Frozen bait occurred, it almost feels like they need to find a way to get passive. Not an easy call with sandbags being exposed. But still, without the utility, I mean, obviously, Magus knew exactly what the follow-up peak was going to be. 12-8.
12-8. Not that much of a gap now. And Mousesports are running into the same kind of issue that Astralis were at the beginning of their CT side, which is, you know, the economy going down, not really being allowed to start off in any kind of a decent way. Do you see a double up future in the cards here for Mousesports?
It wouldn't surprise me too much. Chris J's doing this weird thing lately. I know some of the boys mentioned it to me from when it happened at EPL, and we saw it in one of the Mousesports matches in the group stage as well, and we just saw it in the previous round where Chris actually just goes down to just buys the Deagle with armor, even though he had 2,200 after his buy, right? So he could have gotten a FAMAS, could have gotten an SMG, maybe could have even gotten an M4 with some light armor, but he's choosing to drop down to the Deagle, so that's put him at a ton of cash for the moment. So if he wants to buy a second op, it's going to be possible for him to do it in the next round.
Well, we'll see. Ooh, I don't know how he can keep being accurate when he's spamming it that quickly, but he did. Frozen is in the site with a 5-7. Chris showing back up again. Carrigan will go down, but he was low on health already. And oh, that they needed Frozen to stay alive there. Chris trying his best, but he's about to be out of bullets. So, a 9th round for Astralis. I like the fact, well, first of all, I like the fact that Robs actually tried to go aggressive with the AK to hunt them down, but I also love the fact that Astralis were aware of it and turned around, so that was just, you know, good play on either side, I think, for Robs to try and be playmaking, but also for Astralis to have a little bit of game awareness there. There's the double orb.
Yeah, I mean, and well, listen, Mousesports, this needs to work. This needs to work immediately. Astralis is starting to gain, you know, that scary amount of money where you're going to have to win 3 in a row to break the economy of the T side, especially if they continually getting plants. They might not have to save if they have success getting into bomb sites. So Mousesports need a couple really comprehensive victories to start feeling more comfortable on this. That's a good start. Chris J with the opening pick. Double up setup already coming into play. Woxic has the other one, so both of them are at the A bomb site. And here's the attack. Dupree's leading the way. No one was watching sandbags. Kerrigan's gonna go down. So is Rops. Dupree has finally showed up on this map, and he's gonna get Astralis up to 10 because this cannot be a retake. These ops cannot be risked.
That was plainly absurd. He just swung all across the bomb site. He just hit nothing but headshots. Even the first entry was amazing when he just takes down the player at the monster tunnel, but he kept going. That looked like a Dupree that had just had enough.
That's wild, and that's going to be stressful for the Mousesports defense because whoever's playing Monster, I didn't even get the chance to see who it was. I'm assuming it was Frozen or Rops, but he's going to be real frustrated that he got taken off when someone runs that deep with no resistance whatsoever.
And that was like a reaction, right? Device goes down to Chris over on the other side, and because Astralis are already close to the B bomb side, they're like, let's go, like, right now. Yeah, Frozen down first, and then this is a good.
He's even kind of looking for it, Frozen.
Yeah, he was. He was well aware.
That's pretty nasty. All right, well, this gets interesting. Mousesports doing the old classic here. Having a big lead, winning the pistol in the second half, and now dropping, what, 6 in a row? As Astralis makes a huge comeback, 12-10 in the favor of Mousesports. But this is no longer a comfortable situation. They have 2 AWPs. They actually could drop some rifles over if they wanted to go for it, but playing it safe.
I don't mind it. I mean, they still do have the lead. But given, again, I mean, they save the double orb is kind of a big deal too. But this is starting to look like an Astralis that is definitely waking up a bit more. And again, those B executes from Astralis, it's hard to tell whether or not that last one had some good flashbangs, but I could tell you they, you know, against Fnatic, they continuously set up flashbangs inside of that B bomb site that blinded 3 or 4 players whenever there was 4 players there. And I mean full blind. So it could be very, very hard to hold this site against them. Sneaking in there is Dupree.
Dupree again. Yeah, well, if Woxic has the timing on this and can re-grab the angle with the op, that could put him down. But it looks like Frozen's going to be the first contact, and Woxic will peek on that. Oh, Dupree almost had it. He knew where the follow-up was going to be. Smoke, oh, leg shot through the smoke for Device. Molotov forces Woxic away. He's lucky to be alive. But that should make the pressure subside.
Yeah. Well, they might just wait and go back at it again. Rops is in an interesting position all the way back here.
Sneaky bastard. You talking about Rat?
Yeah, well, like we said, Rat plays do often pay off, so Got some smokes coming in, one flashbang, but not going to do anything to Woxic. He's going to try and Molotov off the tunnel, but they're going to keep going, running right through Yugi and Karrigan right next to each other. Woxic finally goes down, but do they even realize? There's Yugi with the fight. Robs will take him down, and Karrigan would have been there either way. 29 seconds, and a good chance here for Mousesports to bring it back. Chris with a shot on device, and now it's Snappy. 1 versus 3, no bomb plant, and he's not going to have a chance. Nice shot from Robs. 13th round for Mousesports.
Nice job with the double op setup. Good early battles won by Woxic, trading off Frozen very, very well. But that flank from Rops is a thing of beauty. It happens so quick. It's an immediate 1D as well over towards Sandbags. Dupree goes down here. That is Mousesports setting up a nice little trap for Astralis, and it works perfectly. But man, they have to build upon this now. Still double AWP. Chris J and Woxic with those.
Well, they need to build on this, don't they? Have to find a way out. You can see Chris and Woxic, their economy is actually so good because they managed to save the double op and obviously bring it into the later rounds here. So that much is working. The rest of the team, not so much. And
yeah, but look at Astralis as well. They just fully bought everything. They had all 5 players had to rebuy into this round, and they still have so much money. They're sitting okay for the moment.
Looks like Chris is going to be joining Woxic, so both the ops on the A-bomb side. It's not that that's completely crazy, but obviously if it was some sort of full smoke execute, could cause some trouble.
Yeah, these oppers, though, they do like to be aggressive. Nice flashbang and peek. Chris J risking a little bit, running a line to get a new angle. And at least at this point, if they do run that smoke execute, Chris J is going to be in front of the smoke. Still, that's a pretty tough position to manage to get multi-kills with so many different choke points coming at you. Or a couple different choke points coming at you. So a lot of pressure on these ops, although we do have a third player. Rops is there with the M4.
Giving away that position. 25 seconds as Chris goes down to Magisk, and that's a little bit of an issue. Rob's close. Can he stop this push coming in? He's going to get the 1 kill. 19 seconds on the clock, and now they're swinging from long as well. Woxic missing another chance. He's going to get that one on device, and that's a big kill. Yugi coming with a bomb, but now the rotation is in. Mousesports are at the bomb side. Yugi overwhelming Woxic finally. They're not expecting Karrigan. 4 seconds. He's going to swing and spray it down. What a great double kill for Karrigan, and Mousesports. Yeah, I mean, just a couple of critical kills. They could have definitely lost that round.
Yeah, critical kills and just staying alive as long as possible. It wasn't even the double kill that was great from Karrigan. It was the fact that he gets there and goes aggressive immediately upon arrival to that A-bomb site. Then he knows the time is his ally. That is just a great heads-up play from Karrigan to get into this site. He knows they can't fake the plant. They have to stick it. And that's well done. Mousesports just barely hold on to that round. Back down to a single op. Chris J has gone for the AUG.
Two rounds away, Mousesports, from finishing what they started so well here on Overpass. And Astralis, the money that you spoke of earlier, they had to dig into it even further. It's good that they were able to do that. But now they actually need the win here. It's Dupree again opening up into the site. What a great resource to have. Dupree and Magisk have been getting amazing entry kills down here. Chris showing up with the AUG. The man who could just use every weapon there is in the game. And he's going to continue. What a fantastic defense here. 2-on-2. Oh, the grenade! It landed right on top.
Oh, well, now Woxic gets put into play, but he has no idea Magisk on the other side of that smoke. A little bit of cover. Woxic has the right idea. Looking around the right side, he hasn't spotted Magisk just yet. This is as close as can be. What a peek from Magisk. No chance for a response from Woxic. And Astralis is still alive. 11 rounds to 14 for Mousesports. Just 3 rounds away, but there's plenty of cash for the defense to work with.
Oh, that bounced. That landed right in his eyebrow. That was incredible.
Yeah, that couldn't have been more perfect, actually. That's phenomenal work.
Helmet's not going to do anything at that point in time. Well, this was a bit of a setback for Mousesports. Now they're able to rebuy the double AWP again, thanks to them saving it so much earlier in the in this half. So that's the good news, I think. But the bad news is, this is almost all of their money, pretty much all of their money being spent in this round. And Astralis, I don't know, they're not done yet. So I'm so scared for Mousesports because of the entries that have been got here.
That B bomb site, the defense over there is looking very grim for Mousesports at the moment. They have not really been able to hold that B bomb site with any kind of consistency. I think there was, one good round from Woxic with the AWP there, but outside of that, Monster has been a nice take for Astralis. Dupree's been able to get quickly up sandbags and actually attack into the bomb site a couple times with very little resistance. So everything at that B bomb site, it feels like it needs to get sharpened up here for Mousesports down the stretch, because you're right, even with a 3-round lead, the economy in such a precarious position for Mousesports makes you feel very nervous. This round win for Astralis is going to close that gap quickly.
3-round gap, and look at what it's, well, the odds are actually still pretty heavily in favor of Mousesports. I thought maybe it would have swung back a little bit for Astralis, but that's where we're at here. Almost something like 3-1 there. 26th round. Deagle on Rops. 4 people in the bomb site. Woxic is jumping for information over at the A bomb site. And I mean, again, it's not a bad position to be in if you're, I mean, he's actually on top of the box, just way exposed. See if he could find an early kill. That would really make it worth it. He sees one and takes down Dupree. Excellent early kill.
And the smoke as well into the main choke point of bathrooms right at the 49-second mark. That'll go disappear right around 32 seconds. But both ops now at this A bomb site. And previously, this defense held pretty strong. Oh, right through the smoke. Woxic has got to be furious. I'm actually kind of amazed Astralis hasn't pulled the trigger off of that. The rotation is coming over. Mousesports is going to be here in time, but again, so much on Woxic's shoulders. Over at the cart with that AWP, and he goes down as well. So does Rops. It crumbles like a house of cards, and Kerrigan going to try and stop this plant. No. Oh, he gives it up. He backs away.
Wow, look at those shallow fights being taken from Magisk. He's hardly showing himself. He's sort of shooting at the corner of the wall almost. You could tell Woxic is saying like he surely has to move a bit more to actually fight me, but that's not the case. 14-11.
Well, I mean, that's just good fight selection from Magisk. Obviously not easy to pull off those shallow peaks, especially against, you know, top tier oppers. But every time they've gone to this A bomb site when Mousesports has money, it's been the double op setup. So Magisk obviously just pre-firing and shallow peeking every single angle.
There's that 12th round being added, and they find Kerrigan. So that's a bit rough. Another rifle being lost that they can't really afford to buy. Wow, that was Chris going down. This is, again, powerful stuff coming out from Magisk.
I'm so impressed that Astralis is staying in this game, that they're actually still fighting for this. After the first half where they looked like they weren't even comfortable taking fights in general, this is a really good look for an Astralis team that has struggled to look good in the spring showdown so far. Flashbang out towards long. That's Rops with a scout that's going to be forced back.
3 grenades down in B. I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a lovely idea. Let's see where they put him.
That is obviously, I mean, that's the other component, isn't it? Buying them, yes. Now, where do you throw them? They're waiting for a cue, anything to give this away that they could maybe do.
Yeah, they're all at the B bomb site, so I'm assuming the plan is waiting for some indication or like utility usage and put 3 of those nades in towards monster tunnel or sandbags. This is a great boost. I'm actually I feel a little bit bad for Mousesports that it hasn't given them that kill.
And that scout over at long actually has pushed Astralis back. I think Device or Dupree or someone sort of spotted it out and said, you know what, let's not fight this. So they're going to come right for the 3 grenades. Again, let's see if we get the timing. Some of them have fallen back a bit, so you need to get those HEs back in here. Chris, yeah, this would be the perfect time. He's going to wait for it, throws it down, and it does a tiny bit of actually a lot of damage there on Snappy. Not so bad. Still have another few coming in, but they don't do nearly as much, so it doesn't mean the round is over yet. Chris will go down. 24 seconds, and the bomb is being attempted. That boost getting caught. Yeah, that was, I think, a bit obvious at that point in time. Yugi with a good one, and they're going to clean it all up here. Kerrigan gets dropped, and nothing is saved. Quad kill for Device, and 13-14.
Oh, it's such a shame that that nade stack shifted away right before the hit came in. And obviously, no one from Mousesports could get into that bomb site. They might have had the chance, just no one was really aggressive. Chris J was just stuck for way too long all on his own, going for that boost instead of swinging into the site as well. I think the plan at some point was to try and save that M4, and obviously that just didn't happen. So a single op for this Mousesports defense. 14-13. Astralis has come all the way back. Woo, that's fast.
It's a good start, isn't it? The man who saved Astralis in the previous round, down already. Wallbang not going to do anything for Snappy, trying to see if he could shoot his way through. And the bomb site again, really heavily defended. They seem to sort of trust Woxic to maybe get a kill on A, but at the very least get the really advanced warning. So they've been relying on that a fair bit, Mousesports.
I think that's not a bad call at all. I think he's done a pretty damn good job of, we saw him find a pick out towards long in the previous round. He's at least been dynamic in finding, some early information for the team, still being aggressive towards highway at the moment. He is a second player with them now, but I think the critical thing to look at on this minimap, the bomb is still way far back behind B towards T spawn. So Astralis at 50 seconds, everyone is spread on the map, no one's being aggressive, no one can work together, and the bomb is far away from pretty much any selection, any final strategy that's being called. Even Dupree running right past it without picking it up.
I feel like that's almost a mistake from Dupree's point of view. Snappy's going to go back and get it. I guess maybe they do want Dupree making the entries. He's been pretty good at that, but look at the time. Oh god, this is incredibly disturbing. 25 seconds. There is a Molotov on Chris as well if he gets back here, but he's going to be far away. 22 seconds, pushing in, and there's another entry for Dupree. He just keeps doing it over and over again. 15 seconds on the clock. Frozen will take a kill, and in swings Dupree for more headshots. Woxic will get one in return. 10 seconds on the clock, and Robs is right next to them, but the bomb is being planted here, and Robs, he wants to go for the swing, but not going to be able to stop the bomb plant. He will go through. Still Snappy inside in a 1 versus 3, and I don't think he can make it out here. He's so exposed behind the pillar, and I'm kind of shocked he's still alive. I thought maybe the boost would have already caught him. Got the AK down here, and there's the final kill coming through. 15 rounds on the board for Mousesports.
That was sketchy, though. That did not feel comfortable at any point for Mousesports. They rotated a third player back to the A bomb site, so not putting faith in that early warning system, not putting faith in those deep angles at the A bomb site. And Kerrigan's been ruined by that same pop flash like 3 times already in this half. I think he's got to switch up his position, because that's been too easy for Mousesports to lose the entry battle in that fashion so frequently. Good job from Rops. Good job from Woxic as well with that boost. And yeah, a little stress coming out from Zodok. He's gotten his team back into this game so close. They still need 2 more rounds to force overtime. Mousesports have 2 chances to close out Astralis' map pick.
Yeah, this is the big opportunity. You don't want to give this one away. I mean, they have a little bit in the bank in case they lose, but really only Woxic and Frozen. Oh, Dupree! Get big double kill as they try and see if they can go aggressive, and that's a big way to throw it here. Robs trying to see if he can return it, but he ran out of bullets, and Snappy will take him down. Chris inside of the bomb site. Can he make one last heroic stand? He's up on top of the box here. Flash. Oh, and he's just unflashed as they're about to turn the corner. More Molotovs raining in. They're waiting, and Magisk, he's seen that before from Chris, and he won't fall for it this time.
What a bold call to make in round 29 when you have no money in the bank. What that takes some balls to try and pull that off through the smoke and Monster early on in the round when you have 3 players below $1,000 built up. This is going to be tough for Mousesports to recover from. They've just given Astralis a phenomenal chance to actually make overtime, especially if Device can find this kill. He's got knife out. Good shot from Woxic, now up to 23 kills in the game. Leading the entire server, Rops has 21 next to him, Dupree with 22, and Magisk with 21 as well. Those 2 on the Astralis side have been phenomenal on this offensive half. A missed opportunity for Woxic, and now he's going to get taken out from behind right at the last second. He can rebuy an op, but that's a gun he cannot pass over to a teammate. So Mousesports, they've got to do it the hard way.
I mean, I kind of appreciate what Mousesports were trying to do there, but the flash was just a bit off to catch Dupree, and they paid for that.
I hesitate to criticize Mousesports for that call, but that is one of the calls that you make that is going to be praised or criticized based off the outcome.
Yeah.
And obviously the outcome was an absolute disaster.
It wasn't great, was it? Again, completely similar setup, except Woxic being a little bit more forward in the defense before he falls back just about now. But a similar four-man setup down here. And look at Dupree looking for another entry. He's been doing it all day, and he'll get it again on Frozen. They will get him down right afterwards, but still, it's got to be so frustrating for Mousesports. And look at how quickly they're trying to rotate Woxic. You know, they were at least thinking about it.
Yo, this position from Snappy, again, this B defense for Mousesports is not coordinated. It is not strong. They took their eyes off Monster for so long. Nobody had any information about what was coming. Not a single piece of intel. Good shot from Woxic. He remains dynamic at this A bomb site. And it looks like Astralis wants to go away from the AWP.
And they were actually bringing the bomb over. You see, Yugi was he was there in preparation. If that would have been a kill on Woxic, they would have been ready to run in there. Now instead, they're going to go right at Kerrigan and Chris, who have no more grenades. They really have a lot to fight with here, so they're going to have to play clever, and maybe they can around the time that's left. 30 seconds. It's going to be another 10 at least before the bomb is even being attempted here from Yugi. And they're really slowing it down, Astralis, and that could be the end of them if they're just a little bit reckless. Meg is pushing in, and he's been great on the entries as well. Chris, all the way back there. He's already seen him, but he can't win the fight. Meg is again accurate, and that might have been just it. Kerrigan trying to get the kill for the smoke, and Woxic coming in with the AWP. No one behind the box just now. So Yugi and Snappy, every chance right here to bring this into overtime in the very first map. Yugi waiting by the pillar, and he's going to swing for it. Instant takedown of Kerrigan, and now Woxic in a new unwinnable position. 1 versus 2 with the AWP, and that bomb is ticking in front of him. He knows that there's going to be 2 people left, and he can't find either one of them. Yugi with a great double, and that is overtime.
That's wild. They had the perfect defense. The thing is, though, this Mousesports, since they've had so much trouble having success at B, their defense has gotten kind of predictable. Even Dupree, I think, was the first player coming off sandbags. He's actually peeking for the boost. He's actually aiming right for with all the different angles that someone could have been in that site. And Frozen all he had to do was stay ducked. He didn't have to commit to that fight. He had teammate at Toxic Barrels. He had 1 teammate in the site as well. They had 4 players at B. You had the initial contact. Let one of your other teammates clean up that battle. And, I mean, that B defense failed them all through regulation, and it's so fitting that one last time to force OT, Astralis is able to punish it again.
Wow. Well, now they got some money to work with, so Mousesports back with the double AWP, Kerrigan with the AWP. Maybe this is going to be the time where they can finally start to defend themselves against those early B hits. I mean, Dupree can just take someone down in B at will.
Well, here we go. MR3, 10K start money, just to get things outlined, because we've had some crazy overtime formats these days. Woxic gets pop flashed off the angle. You gotta be careful as he makes the run back through bathrooms. Again, 4 players at B for Mousesports defense. Woxic at A, but being forced back, he's gonna have to call somebody in rotation. It's Chris J to come by.
Not wanting to challenge that smoke. Don't really blame him for it. They're gonna put it up and start to fall
Remember,
back.
last time he challenged it, he got banged out by Device right through the smoke.
Yeah, fair point. See, oh, he's just 2 seconds late. Could maybe catch the next one, though. Yeah, they're going to come back without even checking. They weren't thinking about it. That's a nice idea from Woxic, but he doesn't get what he wanted. There's a lot of defense on this A side. Are they actually going to end up here? I mean, Yugi could just throw a fake and keep them here and then go for B.
Here we go. Snappy's going to throw this pop flash. I mentioned it earlier. Kerrigan's been destroyed by this pop flash a couple times in this game already. Maybe not, actually. He's going to get a reprieve, but it works anyways. He gets blinded from a different angle. He looked elsewhere. But again, the B bomb site just feels free. Frozen with the AWP is going to find the first kill. That's Dupree. Oh, right through the box. The nade combination. I don't think that's going to do it. Almost another spam, but instead it's Yugi.
Well, he sees that with a jump, but Megas will still take down Frozen, and I don't know, Robs and Chris in the MR3 here. He's looking to have to be careful. They wanted to save that AWP, but that's going to be denied. And it's another round at the B site for Astralis. I mean, with a little bit of a different, you know, build up into this round than previously. It works so well.
I cannot believe that Astralis has just been able to march into this B bomb site every single time they've wanted. Mousesports really struggling, even sometimes with 4 players there, struggling to find the solution. 15 to 15, or excuse me, 16 to 15. I think this is Astralis' first lead in the game.
Yeah, I think you might be right. This is just at this point kind of rough. They had, what was it, 11-4 in the first half? Mousesports, and then
they won the pistol in the second.
Then they won the pistol in the second, and they haven't been able to close it out. Magisk at 23 kill, sorry, 24. Dupree at 23. Those two have been doing. I mean, it's not even just the amount of kills; it's how many of them have been entries into bomb sites, which traditionally is, I mean, worth a little bit more. Chris with the attempted pre-fire while he was flashed there, not able to quite connect. It must have been close though. This is a very, this is like the most common T setup for any overpass T side. One outside B and the other 4 doing something else.
I'm waiting at some point. I haven't seen it yet. I'm like half waiting to see Astralis run a fake. Like send 2 players to the B bomb site just to find 1 entry. Like surely that is going to force a lot of rotation from Mousesports at this point. That's what I'm interested in seeing. Chris J with an op peering in towards bathrooms. They do have the double op setup. Woxic has his at B over towards the pillar, so changing the location of these ops from what Astralis saw in regulation. But Chris J is very committed.
Yeah, Robs is at that corner, but again, any kind of a Molotov or smoke or something that could definitely separate them. Fires the orb a bit early, and now they're coming for him as well. He will pick up 1 kill. Nice shot, great double, and Robs is there to help out. The defense holds. They could have run him down, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. But Chris standing tall. That was a swift couple of kills.
Yeah, that is a spectacular performance from Chris J with that AWP. Holding on to that 8 bomb site, that's a risky position, and he plays it just perfectly. Good support as well from his teammates behind him. I believe it was Rops who got Yugi, stopped them from being able to wrap around Chris J, and Kerrigan being here as well. Got back just in time. All tied up again, 16 to 16, and Astralis takes their 2nd timeout of the map. That's actually pretty crazy to think they made that comeback all the way, only taking 1 timeout in regulation.
Yeah, I mean, and especially, I think both these teams pretty well versed in actually using those timeouts. I mean, I think Astralis maybe especially making use of them early in games, even when they were doing pretty well, just to calm everyone down. But 16-16, AKs all across the board for the Astralis side, and Mousesports. Well, Chris with that orb. I mean, that's a nice couple of kills, and it was so tempting for them, right? As soon as he fired that ult, you could just feel it. They were like, let's bring him down. All right.
Ooh, quick shot. Chris J is gonna back off. Doesn't land at all. Astralis going to, it looks like they want to at least do something pretty similar in taking control of bathrooms at the very least. So they're going at Chris J again, who had that spectacular round previously. But at least wanting to have some presence towards the A bomb site. Woxic and Frozen over at B. Kerrigan as well, deep, playing a passive angle. We haven't seen Mousesports, curiously enough, in their entire, standard regulation defensive half push towards short sewers at all. We haven't seen any of that aggression in that location, taking it over.
Ooh, that shot is a second too early. Now they're going to be close. He won't know it. This is so risky. He's going to back up, and they're right there. Yugi will take him down. Robs over at long will drop Snappy, but they've still lost the bomb site, and the bomb is going to be going down here. 4 on 4. This is actually going to be a very, very, very tricky retake.
Yeah, it is. Robs has a huge role to play. He's at least got to keep them honest on the flank, the wraparound of bathrooms, but if his teammates have no success coming in, it won't matter. Magisk is going to get burned out. Dupree is still close to the corner. Another Molotov. Dupree's running into flames all over the place, but the second one subsides. Good flash. And Kerrigan's going to lead the way in.
Robs went down over Red Long. They actually went to find him. Nice shot from Kerrigan. Dropping Device, and now Yugi 1 versus 3. And that bomb is already being defused. He tries to swing for it. Not going to be successful. And that retake was amazing from Mousesports. I did not see that coming. Absolutely thought they were going to lose that. So they go into the second half of overtime with a 1-round lead here.
It's a great utility usage, Anders. That was the power of it. The 2 Molotovs towards the truck, towards the corner as well. It burned one player to death, and it forced Dupree out of his position and took away a bunch of HP. So that's some very solid work with nades. Now we switch sides, Mousesports over to the T half, and remember, they had a huge advantage. They won, well, I mean, both teams won 11-4, obviously, on their T sides. Looking for 19 is the winning number.
Yes, it is. And Mousesports' T side was obviously very good, so this could be a chance for them to sort of start to bring that back. It's been a little while since they played there. I mean, they've just had a fair few rounds on the CT side. Double up immediately from Astralis.
If you remember, though, I mean, both teams had like similar points of success on their T side. Was entries were just so much more powerful. Like everyone on defense just really struggled to win any of those opening fights. Mousesports as well was able to just kind of walk up, towards sandbags, especially when Astralis was playing in connector, able to find that kill down the stairs as well. So I'm interested to see if Astralis is going to maintain that aggressive defense to get in towards the danger stairs, get in towards connector, and indeed they do, at least for this first round of OT.
Ooh, quick Kerrigan there, but Frozen coming in second in line will be found by Device, who's swiftly going to be falling back and all the way back to Priest, now sneaking up from the stairs. And not going to be challenging too much more. That is aggressive from Kerrigan. He finds the kill. He wants to keep fighting, and he takes down Snappy. That is an incredibly powerful play. Dupree, though, is still holding the center of the map. This is not done.
Yeah, and no one else from Mousesports is in position to take advantage of this. I think he even heard some footsteps behind him. This is weird, and Kerrigan's... Oh my god, he did expect the angle. They've spotted him out. Dupree's in trouble, and he knows he's being wrapped upon, but he's going to get aggressive. He might think it's only one player, but instead it's 3. Dupree goes down. They do have to retake this A bomb site, but they can slow play it. The entire map is now available to Mousesports.
Wow, man, that might be... I mean, you're right. Kerrigan turning around to see it and calling it out to his teammates. That is huge. He's finally going to be going down, but the bomb and the round here should be for Mousesports. 2 versus 1, 35 seconds, and they're going to fall back. Why not make it difficult? They have 2 smokes. They can smoke off the sniper spot when they get down there. And then what is Yugi going to do? They can smoke both positions. Yeah, there's the smoke.
At least he's reading it. Going to go timing shot, not there.
Saving, I don't know, I mean, they have money anyway. Might as well just try and see if you could do this. Talked about this earlier from Astralis. Sometimes you just have to try and see if you can clutch it, even if it's low percentage. He's walked up close with the AWP, but Rob's inside of the smoke as it fades. And that is 18 rounds here. That was all Kerrigan.
Yeah, that really was. Those were incredible shots. I think even Device was aware of the possibility. Maybe even knows that Kerrigan's shenanigans. Good first shot from Device, but this is way better. The peek comes in, the follow-up battle as well as spray control. Maintaining the bomb site, and the big thing was even spotting Dupree coming up the stairs as well. That put Dupree in a really impossible situation, and I mean, if he doesn't expect that to come, if he's not looking for it, Kerrigan likely just goes down for free. Mousesports, 2 chances again. This will be chance number 3 and 4 for them to close out this map.
Yeah, it's going to start to be really taxing if you continuously can't, put Astralis away. If you have to keep sort of going back, if you end up playing double overtime and you have to keep doing this, it's going to wear on them as well. Rob's playing very close and alone, so there's no one here to refrag it if anything goes wrong. Magisk on the other side. Not happening so far. Could have maybe been flashed in, but wait for it. Good kill for Dupree, and he wants to make it back again, just trying to play this one safely.
For all of Kerrigan's brilliance in the previous round, he did not look like he was prepared for any fight whatsoever. That was just a very lazy flash and peek with it. Easy kill for Dupree, and he backs off.
Okay. Would have been wild if he could have got that shot.
Yeah, if he'd gotten that shot, we might have had to just log out of the game. Call it a day.
Yeah, say that's it. No more Counter-Strike for Woxic. Good return, Frozen. And that'll even it up. And they're congregating outside of the B-bomb side. Inside of it, Magisk and Yugi are waiting. And I don't know, they have a Molotov there on Yugi. It's going to be Magisk to open it up. Can he get it out in time? No, he's going to be going down. And now, oh, Woxic peeking again and dropping both. Man, he was so exposed. If he misses that shot, he's dead. Device and Snappy now, 2-on-3. And can they retake it? Can they continue it into double OT? That's the big question here. Device with the AWP on one side. It's really awkward for him to have to try and lead this one. So probably Snappy, but he's ready here as well. Woxic a little bit early on that shot. Relocates to try and look for Device, who's now sneaking in with the AWP. There's a good kill, but he goes down, and now Snappy's in a lot of trouble here. No chance against Robs. 19-16 as Mousesports finally find a way to defeat Astralis on overpass.
Yeah, but you can see there's no celebration from the Mousesports player. That's everyone with a deep, thankful sigh. The breath leaves them as they finally take this map. It was way too close of an affair. Good comeback from Astralis. Way to hold on for Mousesports. We're going to head to a break, and then we've got the desk who's going to talk us through that first map. Stay tuned.
Welcome to London for week 3 of Blast Premiere. We've got some top tier Counter-Strike coming your way.
The 100 Thieves and G2!
Down now, 2 quick kills. They should not lose this game right now. This is not a team that yet has the pedigree to beat an AG.
It is Valentine's Day, guys, but what happens under the desk stays under the desk.
Dad and Dad, we're back together again.
So what we have to do, we will win this game. Deal?
But they're coming in from long as well. Visa's gonna be there. What an upset. It took all 3 maps.
And this is going to be a spicy one. 100 Thieves versus EG!
They take them down in overtime and win the whole series 2-0.
A banger of a match between G2 and OG.
Chance for this, and it's down the 1v2 to close it out.
EG versus OG for a spot in straight finals in Moscow.
We are legends of this game. We will rip, shoot hits. Deal? Let's go, Alexei. No.
It was an upset last time and everyone was shocked, but here we go. OG absolutely living the dream, and they will take him down for a second time.
Let's focus, bros. Let's focus like we played first time against them.
They've done it. They've bounced back on Dust 2. We're going to the final map of Blast Premier Spring Series, baby.
Let's take it just like this time.
And G2, 1 frag away, 1 HP away from shutting down the dreams of OG.
There we go. G2 Esports first place in Group C. Fantastic stuff. We'll see you in a couple of months, of course, for the Showdown. And for now, enjoy the rest of your evening. There we go. Bye.
11-4 first half, mate, and I was hoping you'd close it out and get that huge confidence and dominate Astralis, but we go to overtime and it was tough. How are you feeling after that one going into train? Because we know Astralis can deliver on train as well, and your train, it's been a bit up and down at the same time.
I mean, if we just can get our bloody CT sides to work, then we destroy every single opponent. But I don't know, man.
Slightly
I honestly don't
frustrated
know.
it sounds, mate.
Because, yeah, I feel like we're doing the right stacks. We're just not killing people. They're coming into our crosshair all the time. I mean, like, it's just bad. You cannot deny it.
Are you confident you're going to get the 2-0 now, though, considering it is your map pick and you did manage to take the win? Are you thinking spirits are high enough?
I'm always confident we're going to win. I always believe we have a really strong team. We just need that bloody CT side to work, and then we are going to do good.
All right, well, there we go. You know, get that bloody CT side working. He spent too much time around you and Richard Lewis, Thorn. All right, we need to go and get into Maniac. Maniac, you have a clip that you'd like to show us that will highlight some of the details here of this first match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to start by looking at the positive, me, and this is a clip of Mousesports T side again. We talk about how quickly paced they can play, how they can take you over. Well, you have an example here. It is so fast. Once Device get the flash, that is it. Frozen is already in position, and even though Snappy, as you can see, found some kind of loophole, Woxic is actually in position, and you might think, okay, this is it. Astralis, they have time to reset on the A side, but actually no. Kerrigan is already on the side. He'll get the trade onto Magisk, and that is it. The round in about 10 seconds is over. So this is the good side of Mousesports. This is the side that we like to praise. That's their T side, their recklessness, how quick they think it, take some distance and some space. So that is the plus. That is the good one. But you know what? There's also some downsides.
Yeah, I think the coach was expressing his frustrations with the downsides right now. It turns out there's another half to the game, and that half right now, it's not as quick. It's not as hard hitting. Thor, what did you take away from this first map of the series?
Yeah, let's put this in context. This was Astralis' map pick. It's a map that the guys from Mousesports have lost the last 3 times out. And as we've been pointing out on this show, on both Train and Overpass, 2 of the CT-sided maps in the game, Mousesports simply just does not win CT halves, and they've been bad on this CT half as well. So I think Maniac did the right job there. Focus on the T side. They're fantastic on the T side. Kerrigan has always been a master of this map. But CT side, they have major issues. But then again, you can afford to do that as long as you get the win on your opponent's map pick. Like, this was a scenario where if Astralis is going to win this series, it should have started with this map. So as much as you might praise, like, Dupree, Magisk had some big kills. I thought Device was quite underwhelming, actually. It's one of the reasons, in my opinion, over the years, Astralis has gone away from this map. It just hasn't fit him as well for some reason. And listen, they did enough on the T side, did Mousesports, so a win's a win.
A win's a win, and they've got that lead, and you're right. I was actually cheering there for a second. I think the prediction game is running on this map, and so now my life got a whole lot more difficult. But, I mean, Maniac, we'll give you a chance here to speak on the CT side a little bit now that you've covered the T side. What did you take away from this? I mean, what do Astralis need to do going into the next map?
Well, the thing about Mousesports CT side, and I'm trying to make sense of what is happening in front of my eyes time and time again, right? And I do believe that the conclusion is being good on the CT side requires different quality than being good on the T side. As simple as that. Mousesports are fearless, reckless, they pick up the speed, they have individuals that can make the difference, like this guy we have on the screen here, Woxic. We've seen it again, the last round in this game, Woxic with the AWP monster, 2 quick kills, and that is it. Great, it's all fine and dandy. But there are other qualities that you need to have on the CT side. Being able to organize your setup, being able to trade each other, play off of each other, 1-2 switch bait, having trading, crossfires. This is what Mousesports is lacking right now, and I understand Raging's point, I understand his frustration. They have the players, they have the heavy hitters, but it's not enough to just individually make the difference. You have to build something, you have to puzzle your way into the CT side. And for Mousesports, it's just not the case right now.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for that first map analysis. And now it's time to hop into our second map, which we'll be getting to right after the break. You got to draw a line somewhere, I guess.
Only good for that 1 week.
NBK is going to be in for a bit of a tight time here. Nicely done. Point blank finds one, gets a second, a third, looking for it, and he gets the fourth as well. French CS.
So they'll have to wait that one out. Clearly G2 looking to just split this B site at the 30-second mark, but a D from JKS.
Corner. And Kenny's going to just have to hit some heads. He thanks for them, and it's just the first. He's able to fall back. He's got to put his weapon back together. And he will. It's a good time flashbang, but he knows the magazine's low. Now he's got the knife out. It's a stab onto Issa. Oh my God. And the headshot onto Valda. Hunter's going to help him out from pit, so Alexi B is all alone in a 1 versus 5. Nobody gets out from porch. Nobody gets footing close to that site. And it all goes around Kenny S.
Wow. Alexi, the 1-on-3, you think he's got no chance. One player back default, one in the pit. It's one of the most dangerous crossfires, even when you have 5 alive. Saw they struggled in that situation. Headshot through the wall. Alexi's out of the round. What a round from Kenny S, though.
He's getting back around ramp. He needs clean kills, and he takes down Kenny. Follows up onto Hunter. Wow. 3 frags from him.
Let's see if they can get out mid. Again, smoke spam. Great timing coming out of the CTs. OG throwing Alexi B forward, only able to grab another kill, but he's done such a great job.
Oh, what?
Nexa robs it back. 3 kills, but here comes Valda on the flank, hot on the heels of the mid play. 2v2, and he dodges the op. Kenny sprints into the B side.
Yeah.
Yeah, wants to get some exits here.
Ruin the ratio. Oh my God.
He's gonna get them both.
Oh, Kenny's gonna die to the bomb. So he's got to come out with a wicked Kenny peek, and it's just going to feed Valda.
I mean, we say Mantu shouldn't get all 3, but Mantu also had 100 HP. And the door's open. Aminek's going to rush it.
Whoa, his teammate
it's not
there.
planted.
We
3
can't even
seconds.
cover that. There's no way.
Aminek robs the round.
Close the door.
Has to form a miracle to be able to win that.
Oh,
Once
but
again, running into the blender versus Fur. Hunter, top of the hut.
Finally.
Oh, good trade comes out, but Nexa looks to pick up the pieces. 2 up versus 1. Alexi, only Mac 10 in hand. Better guns all over the place if he can find them. Don't know how close, though. And
quite...
Kenny is now moving in
Ooh,
for the kill. Interesting, though, to make it a 1v1. He drops off, and Alexi, he loves to take this fight. We saw how patient he was in this moment. Jax pops up behind him.
Given the chance to. Just slightly.
You know, Kenny, he might try to end this round early. Yeah, he's going up through the window.
He just has to
Bomb's
hide.
not planted just yet. Liaz just wants to stay alive, and Kenny will commit. Bomb goes down in time. He's got the op.
All he needs, that one shot. Kenny, he goes high. Up top.
Well, we went to overtime on the first map. That was on Overpass. Now we're going to be on the second one, Train, between Mousesports and Astralis. That was a great game to get started with. Who were you sort of impressed or disappointed by any or both teams?
I think the struggles of Astralis I kind of expected. I was a bit disappointed, actually kind of a lot disappointed in that Mousesports defense. That was the weird one to me. I did not expect a team of this caliber to have so many struggles at that B bomb site, especially after the first half they had where they were just so dominant on an individual level. To see them kind of collapse on the CT side was a bit wild, but still, you got to be happy they recovered in OT. They took that first map, unless you're Semler, in which case you're probably a little bit pissed because your prediction still looks like crap. And it's 1 map for Mousesports.
Glad you got that in there. That's important.
Yeah.
Did you see the Mousesports coach there? He wasn't too excited about their CT sides. Felt like he was a bit annoyed actually.
Yeah, well, when you see that kind of a CT side as the coach, you're just like, Jesus, I have so much work to do to get this team into playing shape. Remember, they won the first half 11-4 and won the second half pistol. They were up 12-4 and then lost, what, 11 of the next 14 rounds? That is craziness on a map where the CT side is supposed to be a little bit easier. And remember, playing against a team like Astralis that essentially at this point, they're not actually stand-ins, but you know, with this early of them in the team, just as effective as just any old stand-in coming into the squad. So they still need more time with Snappy and Yuki to make, you know, those game plans as complex, as effective as we're used to seeing from Astralis. And Mousesports dropping the ball against that, it shows some real issues within that Mousesports team.
Yes, it does. Something that they're gonna have to fix, right? Because I mean, those CT sides, I actually think in some ways can be even more tricky to fix. I don't know if it's just because it's more boring to practice you know, CT rotation protocols than it is to practice, you know, T execute, where you're actually doing something that feels like you're doing more. But it is hard to fix CT sides, I think.
Yeah, the CT sides is a lot more of like, you know, theoretical discussion between who you're playing with and who your rotator is, and actually talking about how to handle different situations. So I think it's a little bit more, I don't know, it's a little bit weird in that way, because you're not always going to be facing the same situation. It's just very much figuring out how you're going to react when a scenario actually encounters itself. And CT sides sometimes do get a little bit more ignored than your T side tactics. But regardless, moving on to Train now, I think this should be much more straightforward for Mousesports, a map that they've wanted to play, that they've actually still looked pretty damn good on, even despite the fact that they've been struggling in recent times. This is one of those maps that's still loyal to them. They're going to be starting on the T side. I would say it's a little bit more difficult, but just like Overpass, we saw both teams dominate on the offensive half, so who knows what we're going to see here.
Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? Mousesports going to be starting on the T side, Astralis on the CT side, and I'm not seeing a single defuse kit on the Astralis side. Doesn't have to be a disaster.
And no P250.
Oh, and no
How's
P250.
that make you feel?
Well, there's a Molotov at the very least, but I'm disappointed in everyone once again. I'll join you on that train. Jump past it there. We'll see if that diffuse kit is going to be something they desperately wish they had. Deep smokes, and they're flashing their way through from Ivy, and a great fight beginning out here. Magisk with a good double headshot, taking down Woxic and Frozen, and not ready for it. Robs was there. I thought actually Magisk was swinging back to look at that exact position, but now it's a 3-on-3 with the bomb going down. So that diffuse kit right now, man, it would be worth its weight in gold. They're going to have to move quickly here. Kerrigan covering that line, but he still goes down. And now there's a free opening for Device.
Oh, not anymore. Rops closes the door. Device can't get the final. 4 kills for Rops in the round. That is a spectacular flank from Device, and he almost wins it for Astralis. 1-0. Why has Device got like the vertical webcam image?
I don't know. No one's told him.
Why is he the only one?
That is a good question. I was kind of wondering if he was able to do that. Well, he had almost done it. Instead, it's Robs.
It's a hard ask. Running out of ammunition when Robs takes that final fight.
Yeah, I mean that is that's asking a lot. You're right. And he was the last one, basically the end of the bomb site. We got the traditional buy coming out here for the Astralis side, so I guess no surprise there. Is that starting to annoy you?
Surprise. This second round Deagle and Scout investment?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say annoy is the right word. I think the only time it really kind of gets to me, I've come to accept it at this point. I think most of the time it really kind of really bothers me is when a team has such a massive lead and then they do that and they lose. Like if someone like wins at the first half 11-4 and then they lose the pistol, that second round bye is a bit weird because it's just like you have so many rounds to play with. Just don't put yourself in like a pit of economy. Like just make sure your first bye is very, very strong. But like you also it's one of those hard things where it annoys you in theory, but in practice like they I feel like they win these rounds. These rounds get won at a pretty decent clip. Oof.
Ooh. Device as well.
Speaking of which,
knife out, not exactly what they were looking for, or what Dupree was looking for, but still a 3-on-3 here. Again, without the kit, it's going to be a little bit rough trying to get in and get all the kills and get the defuse. And Robs is doing a fine job defending the actual bomb itself. And I think that probably took away any chances here that they could do it. I'd rather have the UMP and the Scout for the next round.
Yeah, he's Robs has come in today playing very well, especially when you think, Anders, that Yugi can actually drop that Deagle over to a teammate. So even if they don't have armor, the Deagle can still take those shoulder peeks, those long-range fights, and just see what it can get. Robs is going to tuck himself into a corner as Woxic goes hunting. A big challenge coming here, and it was slow to turn around. Robs takes it away. Oh, and the Scout, he wants it, but he was so low on HP, never wanted to commit to the turn of the corner. 2-0 for Mousesports.
2-1. Yeah, a little bit of pressure being applied. Zeus has been picked up by Dupree. How?
We love that.
We do love that. Now take it to the pop dog ladder and climb up, like you were a Bubsky or Acor or someone.
Or Tarek. Don't forget our boy Tarek.
Or Tarek.
He was the Zeus pioneer. The OG.
Yeah, he's I think he's done a lot of things for Counter-Strike over the years. Megiskin and Yugi both going down at the beginning here. And that taser never going to be used. Oh, ringing the bell.
As the bell rings, yeah. As the bell tolls. Here we go. Device with the scout still, some armor. I think more than anything, Device probably prioritizing saving that armor. He can get the AWP in the next round as well if he doesn't go down. He is going to go down. Might still be able to get it if I'm honest. Yeah, he's got 6,300, so he's got plenty of money for an op. So here comes a very solid 4th round buy. There's the other reason why that 2nd round buy isn't too much of an annoyance, is just the way the economy works.
Yeah.
Even with Armor, Deagle, and a Scout in that 2nd round, Astralis can still afford a double op setup and plenty of utility.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the, well, problem if you're against this kind of thing, but...
yeah.
But that does actually help justify it a lot. I guess I'm not worried about whether or not it's justified. I'm worried about, you know, where it's pushed the game. A little bit. Don't want to be too alarmist. Anyway, Snappy getting put to the test. The SMG leading the charge. He's going to get the first kill. He needs some backup. Oh, nicely handled. Even doing some damage on the Chris J. That was a very, very important 2nd kill coming in from Snappy, giving a good chance now for Astralis in the afterplant. There is a flank coming in all the way from the outside, but it doesn't really matter if this the rest of the force in here are all going to be dead by the time it happens. It's a default plant, so it's very hard for Frozen to stop them from actually defusing the bomb. And here they come, fighting Chris, almost reloading in the middle of the fight. Good enough kill on Yugi. Now Frozen actually showing up. Can he do anything from this range? No, not quite. An expensive round, but they do win it.
Yeah, I was going to say they need to get off that plant and salvage that 2nd AWP that they wanted. And there it is as the defuse comes in. Not bad, 3 kills. Obviously, Mousesports would have done a little bit better, even with Snappy. That's a heroic double kill he gets to start this round. But even so, it was still winnable for Mousesports when you consider a double op setup not going to be an easy to retake that inner yard. But they do just enough. First round on the board for the Astralis defense, and ooh, okay. What'd the curtain do to you?
Listen, something has to you know, receive that anger. Like, you know, can't just bottle it all up, Jason.
It's letting in way too much light, the bastard.
Double up, M4s, limited on the grenades. But with an early kill on Frozen, still potentially a good start here for an Astralis team that's down a whole map. If they could bring this one back, that would be a tremendous help.
Yeah, well, that kill, I mean, takes away all of Mousesports' presence on the other side of the map. All they have left is this inner hit. It's a matter of when do they pull the trigger. Flashbangs are perfect. Snappy has been spotted. He's not going to go down just yet, but Yugi needs to back away because Sidewalk is wide open. Look at Kerrigan. Look how much progress he's made. There goes Snappy. And turning in towards Zia. Oh, good shot from Yugi. He checks it. Kerrigan thought he was going to be sneaky. Thought he was going to get away with a huge, huge piece of map control. And it's denied by Yugi.
4-3 right here, and with the bomb already down, it's not such an impossible task. Flashbang set up by Robs, and a kill as well by him. There's Woxic actually getting the kill behind the flashbang of Robs, so he did a lot that round. 2-on-3 now, and this retake is looking really rough with the pre going down. Impossible altogether. What a great round from Robs. 3 kills.
I know it didn't work out this way, but it does end up looking like Device just straight up abandoned Dupree. Like Dupree finally gets in position on the flank at the top of the lower ramp, and he just pulls out a nade to pop flash. And as soon as we switch over to Device's POV, he's already at the outer bomb yard just running away. Poor Dupree with that timing. Nice job from Mousesports. It's a 4-on-5 victory hitting that inner bomb site. This time Snappy doesn't have the heroic stand. It's Yugi with the creative way to stop the aggression. Oh, we didn't even get to see that. A one tap from Rops might have swung the round.
That was quite something, wasn't it? I mean, it's the fact that he got 3 kills and he set up the flashbang for Woxic to get his kill. So lots of ways to be helpful in a round like that. 6th round coming up, and the AWP was saved, but everything else outside of that is looking pretty dark for Astralis at the moment. MP9 Some pistols, and that's it. They put Snappy inside with just a P250. Wow, and they're getting cleaned up, aren't they? Time to save that up again. For, like, get it away from that C connector.
Oh, device. I don't even mind him necessarily challenging there to see if he can find one, and maybe something cool happens. But yeah, you're exactly right at this point. Get him to fall back. He's got one nice shot, but he's going to back away towards the inner bomb site. Just wanted to make it look like he was going to go for this. And Snappy's here to keep some space. So 5th round for Mousesports early on.
And that's, again, playing the T side. You know, we did hear that there was the CT sides that maybe they were struggling with a little bit. I still have to imagine that this will feel pretty good overall for the Mousesports side. Could there be a sneak in? Snappy, could he find a late kill on someone? They are so ready for that. They absolutely see it coming. Not going to challenge you. Well, the AWP is saved at least for Device. That's got to be counted as good news.
Yeah, I think Snappy was looking for a gun right there at the end. Any gun that might have been blown towards him during the blast. 5-1, and you're right, it is all important. Device is able to save that AWP. Because of that, he's able to drop an M4 over to a teammate. Snappy needed it. Look at the limited utility he's working with around the M4. Actually, I think it was passed over to Magisk. Anyways, 5-1, double op setup now comes out as Yugi has an op in hand.
One damage early on the Karrigan and Woxic. Yugi down to about half health. Again, they leave Snappy alone in the beginning, which is, again, really, really common. I like this aggressive move from Dupree and Yugi, trying to be aggressive over at main, but Woxic will defeat Device, and look at how he just runs and swings. He's got Frozen there with him. What an aggressive move from Mousesports. I really like that.
Oh, they haven't gotten the communication that he's on top of the train. No one's peeking for it. Oh, Woxic late. That's got to be a return from Frozen. Indeed it is, but there's Yugi finally chiming in. And now dropping, but it's going to be Rops to open up towards the inner bomb site. I imagine we'll see these plays out of Rops pretty frequently throughout this half. They found an opportunity to get the plant down, a 2 versus 3 post plant, and Rops does not want to give up his advanced position.
No, you're right, because he could have smoked right away at that C connector, but he's just walked up there. Karrigan also trying to get a bit of a swing. That needed to be a kill, and it wasn't. Now Rops is in a very uncomfortable position. As soon as he fires the gun, they'll know he's down here. He's looking straight up. That's the right move. Nice spray transfer, but again, they are all over it, so they made that somewhat expensive.
If he gets that quicker, I think he can maybe convert into a second kill. Maybe what happens from there, but that's a very tough angle to track Dupree as he jumps over you. 5-2. Unfortunate the Mousesports can't pull that off, but still a pretty decent lead and still keeping the money of this Astralis defense as low as humanly possible.
The thing that I don't understand is, as soon as Woxic and Frozen are pushing Ivy, and they have 2 people in main, and they get the kill down at Ivy, I actually thought they would try and crunch from main and Ivy into the A bomb side. Like, I thought they'd try and throw like one flashbang high up, and then just whatever smokes that just go through, just go for it. But they really, really slowed it down.
Yeah, they didn't seem to have a plan once they got out of Ivy. You know?
Yeah.
Woxic was kind of going back and forth about where to peek, and that allowed the M4 to get close up to the angle. Frozen with a nice trade, but no one ever kind of cleared top train where Yugi was over that smoke. So, yeah, it seemed like the idea was kind of there, but not fully aware of the details to make it work.
A little bit unfortunate. Snappy and Magisk early on inside of B, expecting or maybe worried about a rush. 2 people are pop dog there. They're holding quite far forward here at the A site, and Karrigan will just still run in to get the kill. Nice return from Dupree. And at upper, that's going to be called in surely, yeah. Communication is there. Chris nearly winning the fight, but surely he's dead. Snappy, yeah, he would have heard it the whole time.
Ooh, this is weird. Rops needs to deliver, and he gets taken down by Magus. Good shot. Back to the outer bomb site we go. That's a good heads-up play from the Astralis defense to not rotate out of the B bomb site. Unfortunately, they've rotated out of the A bomb site. Molotov in towards CT Con. Woxic has the bomb, but at the moment he's looking for a response from the flank. So it'll get planted a little bit late in the day, but all of Astralis, 4 players coming for this post plant, for this defuse. 1, Dupree gonna lurk CT con, 3 players along the back wall.
I don't mind that Woxic is falling back, but the problem is they have a smoke at least to make it very hard for him to stop the defuser. So almost wish he would have taken at least a fight earlier on, because now it's 4-on-2, and they're going to be running in here. Frozen, Molotov's away. Now they're on the bomb, and Woxic trying to see if he can swing for it, but again, he can't guess the angle, and that's going to be the defuse inside. So yeah, a little bit of an issue. Some good kills after the actual bomb plant here. That'll still help out Mousesports, even if it's a bit rough losing the round.
No, you're right. If they wanted a decent chance at winning that, they needed to be a bit more aggressive before letting all 4 players onto the bomb train. It's still nice, though. They get the plant, they get a couple kills at the end, they bring the defenders down to just 2 players alive at the end, so still at least limiting the economy while allowing their own to grow with the $800 of bonus. But this was never really going to work out in their favor. 5-3. Astralis still fighting to remain in this series. They're down 1 map. They lost Overpass, the first map, in overtime, if you're just joining us.
I mean, it's at this point still, it's Astralis trying to recover from what's going on here, right? They have the double AWP in play, but being down 5-3 does not really make you really confident in this train pick.
I'm sure they'll take it after being battered 11-4 in the first half of Overpass. They're like, oh man, 3-5 is much better than what we're used to.
I mean, fair play, right? Ooh, Yugi. Would have been cool to find an early kill up there, but didn't want to stand in the Molotov like people sometimes do. Bomb is dropped far back, and Dupree and Magisk not quite doubling up. Oh, nice timing for Device. That is going to drop Carrigan. He couldn't see anything at all, but had the right feeling.
The bomb is all the way back towards T-mid, and there's nobody close to it except for CT players who are actually aggressive. They don't know the bomb is down. They haven't spotted it or anything. Mousesports just going to pick it up now. They've left Dupree in this aggressive stance. They've got Magus far back in Old Hell. Device far back with the op against the back wall. Dupree's going to be the first point of contact, and they're not throwing a flashbang. They're not throwing any utility, and Chris J is just going to clear him out on his own. I think they even spotted Magisk.
Yeah, they might very well have. Device is really far back with it. I don't think it easily gets smoked away. He will get the kill on Chris there, but Chris still a double before he went out of the round. Bomb about to be picked up. Oh, Device will catch Frozen as he tries to get to the bomb. And that's a lot of trouble. Robs, I can't believe he got that kill on Yugi. Now it's a 2-on-2. Woxic gonna go straight for the bomb plant here. Right on the other side. And Rob's ready to guard him if anyone comes through. He's looking all over the place. Another great headshot. But through on top of the smoke is Snappy with the kill. And he knows Woxic is back there with that straight headshot as they find a 4th round here on the Astralis side.
Yeah, good play from Snappy, taking the risk of getting while that bomb is being planted. Rops couldn't cover both angles. Mousesports just keeping Astralis right on the edge, but they're somehow staying alive. They have not been tipped over. Again, they're going to have to buy with all their money, down to the bare minimum, but still competing for rounds. That is a beautiful effort from Device. I think it's a quad kill at the end of this round, or a triple kill at the very least.
Yeah, that is pretty clean. A little bit of relief for Sonic. Definitely under some pressure, all of the Astralis guys at the moment. But they're starting to slowly bring it back here. All the money has been spent in this round for Mousesports, and they're trying to go quick out pop Dogmakers with one good spray down. Nearly a follow-up, and 3 will take care of the rest here. Nice double for him. It's a 2-on-3, but yeah, they've committed to this. Robs, I don't know if he can actually escape.
Oh my god.
That's ridiculous.
Astralis on Trainer is doing a much better job in the initial contact. Kerrigan has really struggled to find entries. He was a beast. He was doing a very good job of it on Overpass. Here on Train, he's getting shut down. Whether it's the unfortunate timing with the pop flash, or otherwise, and it's Snappy, again, left in a clutch. And I imagine Zonic is feeling just as nervous. I imagine it's got to be a new feeling watching clutches when Zipnix isn't on the team.
Yeah.
Much more pressure, much
Maybe
more nerve-wracking.
All of their opponents, though, are so excited that's not going to be a feature anymore. Robs, again, what a turnaround here. 2-on-3 into a win. It's Robs again with a triple. He's playing an amazing game. He's 16-4, and he was playing well on the other one.
I didn't even notice he was 16-4. That shot against Device, it's worse from Device's POV. It looks so much worse from Device's POV that we saw it in originally. And Astralis finally have been shattered. They have a 1-round losing bonus. They have no money. All 4 rounds that Astralis have won have been defuses. And they haven't won a single round with more than 2 players alive. So Mousesports has just been applying so much pressure and doing such a good job.
Well and truly. Ooh, Dupree goes down. That's again Chris, exact same fight that he had against against Dupree earlier as well, I think it was. And with the scout and just the pistols here, again, Mousesports looked like they were about to go off balance a bit in this first half, but now they're right back on track.
Ooh, good trade as Magus tries to sneak in. Kerrigan has been outside in this train yard with the MAC-10, jumping around, running forever, and he has seen absolutely no one. Device successfully avoided him in CT spawn, tucking himself into a corner. No one else from Astralis has showed any presence, so Plant is going to go down. Obviously, no chance for Astralis to win this round. Maybe some kills would be nice, but even saving that armor would be relatively important with the money that they've got. Maybe even saving these guns and just trying again in the next round.
Yeah, I mean, those guns they'll be interesting, right? Like, they could maybe do something, but it's not a lot to hang your hat on at the moment. Could still hope, obviously, that Astralis is going to similarly have, what was happening on Overpass, where they have a much better T side and Mousesports start to fall off the CT side. Like, I think that's a bit of a wish, I suppose. But overall, it's starting to look pretty grim.
Yeah, grim indeed.
The fact that they got it into overtime as well on Overpass is so painful now, right? Because now all you can think is, man, they could have, they could have really done it.
Well, I think they're going to look back, and that's what they'll say. And, obviously, Train might be a little bit of a long shot for them against Mousesports, who are very comfortable on this map, and that's where you say we really should have found a way to close out or play a little bit better on Overpass to ensure that we could at least have a third map, at least get there and have a chance to steal the series away. But that's a tough loss that they take on Overpass after the comeback, and now, of course, it's how much can you get done on this CT side. You're already down massively. Mousesports is already having a very, very good offensive half.
There they are. And as much as being reflected in the odds to win the overall series, they're, looking much favored for Mouse at the moment.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Those odds are, as we have learned, for the entire series. They're not for each individual map. So we're probably going to see that balloon even worse as this goes on if Mousesports can continue adding rounds onto this lead. Decent stack in Crossfire. 3 players inner bomb site for Astralis. A nice crossfire between Snappy and Magisk. We'll see if this changes based off that kill, and indeed it will. Mousesports are going to be happy to just readjust to the outer bomb yard. And again, they'll probably find a free plant. 1 player, Yugi, in Old Hell, and that's a stunning shot. Frozen doesn't even have a chance to pull the trigger.
Yeah, that was cool. Now, do it again. Flashing him all the way behind, using a bit of a Molotov to put even more pressure on him, and yeah, that was going to be a rough position to be in.
I really enjoy the fact that Kerrigan's calling the strategy. Oh my lord, Woxic, nobody even prepared for that peek from Device. They might go for this. I think they've tagged up another one. Kerrigan's low on HP. They're going to start moving in, so this is a little dangerous for Mousesports. Chris J on the bomb site. Able to shut down Snappy and Device. This is an impossible scenario. The gun barrel gives away his position. I was just going to say, I really love that Kerrigan's just calling these strategies and these anti-ecos of him with the MAC-10, and he's just like, yeah, everyone bait me. I'm just going to go run around in circles for a little bit outside with this MAC-10 and see what I can find. I'll clear out all the positions for you. Just come in a little bit late.
Yeah, just, I mean, why not? Kerrigan has been doing that a number of times on Train, right? It's so cool to see that kind of leadership as well, right? When you're the guy who is sort of, you know, in the forefront. 8-4. Astralis back with a buy here. Not the AWP, not the defuse kits. An Orc, I suppose. It's got a scope on it at the very least, so it's a step in the right direction, you might say. But it's getting harder and harder to believe that this won't be a 2-0 type win for Mousesports. It's a little bit too soon to tell, but we're certainly leaning in that direction.
No, but I think the bigger thing is, you know, we have way more of a sample size of this Mousesports, even though they're struggling recently. We've seen them have some very close affairs here at Blast Premier on this map. The one that comes to mind for me is against Fnatic, which ended, obviously, of course, in a tie. But still, they showed some very good stuff, and I think the other real kicker is Rops playing at this level, 17-4. Just on an individual basis, I don't see anyone on Astralis who's able to match that today.
50 seconds, 55 on the clock. Flashbangs going in. Frozen is all the way on the other side, so he could maybe be a bit of a lurker if they could get the bomb down. And with the kill on Snappy, they probably can. Device, he's going to get wall banged straight from Woxic, not even waiting to peek that. Nice aggressive push on Kerrigan. He could have probably had that kill, and that actually gives a chance for Astralis now. A 3-on-3. Yugi's low on health, but that's not even the main problem. It's all these smokes, and there's even a Molotov on Frozen, and he's all the way on the high ground. They do have a counter smoke on Yugi, but no defuse kits.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be doable. Woxic just posting up on the bomb train. Rops as well. He knows the left alley is held off by smoke, and Astralis is going to give it up. They're going to back away. A pop flash as that smoke fades. Good job having the timing on that for Rops to call for it. A 9th round for Mousesports. Here's another thing we haven't really talked about in the context of Astralis, because I made a little bit of a joke earlier about Zip not being involved in the clutch situations, which has got to be weird for Astralis. But the other conversation around Zip as a player was how he was one of the best inner bomb site defenders in all of Train, in all of the professional Counter-Strike scene, and that is such a hard position to play. Inner bomb site on Train is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
And now you're missing that piece as well.
Yeah, so much synergy that's slowly gone out. You're right, like, a lot of the time you could just leave Zip there on your own and he'd get, maybe not always like multi-kills, but just a kill and fall back safely. Like, he'd know how to play that to a high degree. 9-4. So we try and continue. Chris caught sleeping. I don't even know. He was looking at a teammate then. Kerrigan wants to make up for it. Swings again for a kill with an AK-47. And that AWP, I think the gun barrel might be spotted, but doesn't even matter. Device still going down. A lot of damage, though, on Mousesports here. This could turn pretty quickly. Maybe not.
Oh, Woxic is having a field day. It's got to be a trade for Frozen. Magus gets aggressive, and I think he's going to steal this round away from Mousesports. Good shot from Snappy as Kerrigan comes through the smoke, but it's all down to the final boss. He's 17-4. It's Rops.
Yeah, looking for them out here. Already tagged up. There is a minute left, and again, Robs has been doing a lot of crazy things here on Train so far. He's gonna have to find one of them pretty quickly without any chance of a reply. So he needs to just sort of swing for it. Oh, Mega's gonna shoot him in the back, and Robs still landing the headshot. Oh dear, I can't believe it. I thought he was dead for sure. And this time, shooting him in the back works. It takes you know, a couple of bullets.
Yeah, and obviously Rops is never going to expect both players to be in the same spot. So that's a good peek from Snappy, just shifting to the same exact position that Magus had just fallen at. 5-9. Astralis bailed out by some aggressive heroics from Magus. He's 9-12. Only one player positive, actually 2 players, excuse me, positive for Astralis. Device at 11-9. Snappy is 9-8. Last round of this first half, we'll see if Mousesports can get to double digits.
Not anywhere near that. Gotta put up the smoke anyway. 3 people over at Ivy, and the bomb is quite far back, so I'm guessing that, again, they're just angling for a bit of an opening here in the 15th round.
Yeah, they've gotten Woxic in position with the AWP on the other side, and I think it's going to be the standard utility to take control. Alper using the utility first so that he can remain the rest of the round just posted up. But now that they've gotten that done, send the rifles forward. Woxic with the op, gonna go back towards team mid, and he'll just play in support.
See if Device is going to be able to stand on his own out here. He's smoke in front of him. He's going to be fading, and he swings for it just as the grenade is out. So an important return from Frozen. And it looked like he wanted to keep going, and indeed he will. Taking down Dupree second, leaving Yugi and Magisk. And Magisk all over at Pop Dog, so really Yugi is the one holding the bomb side right now. And more people could be creeping into it here. Let's see if they can get rid of Magisk. He's thinking about it. That flashbang does at least push him back, but he's still got an angle. Oh, what a peek. Again, clothesline by Robs, and he continues another headshot. He is absolutely out of control. 20-5 in 15 rounds.
Well, it's fitting that the only rounds they've lost 5, and Rops has died 5 times. He's been such a beast. It's really unlucky for Magisk. He's trying to support his teammate. He takes a peek from ladder room towards the back alleys behind the trains just to see if anyone's going to be rapping on the bomb train. And when he turns back around to cover ladder room again, it's just a perfect timing for that pop flash. That's a bit brutal. Snappy in a 1 versus 4. I'm not sure. Woxic never got the communication. There's no kit. He just picks one up off a dead body, but this is desperation. And Chris J is going to finish it off very quickly, very easily. 10 rounds for Mousesports at halftime. Another big lead, and we'll see if Astralis have one more comeback in them. Otherwise, they'll be eliminated. All of Black, not just the Spring Showdown. We're headed to a break, and we'll be right back.
Hi guys, Res here from NIP, and joining me is Saivu, Robs and Alu, and today we're gonna go head to head in 4 Betway maps, free for all, and let's see who wins with the most kills. Get nothing. On.
I don't have any salary, it's not so strong. It's unfair that I'm here with Robs, Zaivu and Res. I think I have a pretty big disadvantage.
And welcome back. Second half, second map. Astralis and Mousesports here at Blast Premier. Now Astralis going to be playing on the T side, Mousesports on the CT side. And they have a pretty good lead at 10-5 going into the second half. If they win the pistol, much like we said on Overpass, probably this will be smooth sailing from Mousesports.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out that way at Overpass, so we'll just have to wait and see how this goes. Snappy gonna drop right down the ladder. Frozen is aggressive. Peek swords team mid. Here's the footsteps. Gets caught in an awkward fight.
Wow.
Good shots from Chris J and Frozen and Kerrigan. They finally turn it right at the snap of a finger. So again, Mousesports gonna win the second half pistol round already with a big lead. And we'll see if this time they can close it out much easier.
Man, it felt so... Oh, a knife kill as well on Magus. That's just to make things even worse. I love it, Walksick. Not the first time he's knifed someone here at Blast Premier on train. I was getting really, really nervous when I saw Frozen wide swing behind the E-box to fight with that USP, and there was like 3 people there.
Yes.
But it still worked, and he lived. I don't even know how he stayed alive.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought that was certainly going to be his death when he started aiming at the jumping player. I thought that would expose him way too much. I think it was Chris J who just kind of saved his life just at the perfect moment. No second round investment, Anders. This is new.
No second round investment. Well, I guess without the bomb plant, I mean, maybe they just don't want to do it. Not feeling it.
Oh my God, he's got an op.
Yeah, he's got an op.
Back away, young man.
And they're coming for a nice enough kill, and he's called in the FAMAS, and they don't have a lot of chance to fight that. Good triple spray down, and a good 12-5 lead here. So next round is going to be the buy for Astralis, but yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
I wonder if they didn't buy because of the knife and they figured, oh, he's going to have an op. There's no point for us getting deagles. And then if they just said, let's attack him with Glocks and see if we can get the op on the ground and maybe some craziness ensues where they can't recover it. I would wonder if Astralis was thinking that deep.
Could have definitely been, yeah.
Wouldn't put it past him. Yeah. 12-5, big lead for Mousesports. 7 rounds ahead. They just need 4 to close out Astralis. And remember, Astralis started their year at Blast Premier losing to Complexity, being upset 2-0 by the Juggernauts, and then losing to Na'Vi, being eliminated from the initial blast. This is their last chance to stay in this tournament.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I mean, that Complexity upset was just bizarre and very cool in a bunch of ways. This is not the start they were looking for. They
this is not a good look. Yeah, this is an awful look. Oh dear. You hate to see it. 1 versus 5 for Yugi. Poor Yugi.
Well, he's hoping to cause some damage. Gotta keep your hand in the game, I guess, and just keep thinking that there'll be an opening. So, yeah, building a little bit as he's gonna be taking down Kerrigan. A lot of people looking at this corner. It's too many, and it's Robs again, of course. Another double kill for him, landing him at 22-5, which again is just completely absurd.
Well, while we have this opportunity, because it's probably going to be it's looking like it's going to be another save round or light buy, or during freeze time, Andrew. So what other games? We're going to do Vitality versus Dig next. So we have the second half of the day, the NA matches. Gen G versus Triumph, MIBR versus Cloud9. Which one of those, tickles your fancy?
I think I picked Cloud9, I want to say. I can't remember what I picked for the other one. Ooh. A little bit of damage. What was the second or third, I guess, game? DNA game?
Gen G versus Triumph. You picked Gen G and Cloud9. I'm just wondering if either of those got you excited. Because I think the Triumph team is surprising a lot of people. I know I didn't know much about them, and I've seen them cause some upsets here. So I think that's cool to see them in the playoffs at all.
Yeah, I think that actually is really exciting, and I'm not super confident in Gen G. That actually was one of the pictures. I was like, maybe this is how I can get some of my, prediction points back. But I don't know. Cloud9, I'm kind of waiting for them to do even more. I feel like they've got some decent players there that could do more. And again, under the Cloud9 organization leadership, I'm also thinking like there should be some synergy there. So that's sort of half my reasoning. 14-5, Jason. I think you picked the same teams, didn't you?
Yes. I too was a bit uncomfortable with that Gen G pick, which is weird going up against Triumph, but I still feel Chenji needs a little bit more time to feel less dysfunctional, I guess. I still think that team, my expectations for that team, I almost, maybe I'm the one who's in the wrong, but my expectations for that team are very, very high with that roster. Fast pace from Astralis, 1-for-1 trade, and Chris J now steps up to the plate at E-Box. Dupree knows it. Ooh, what a pre-fire into the repeak.
And look at Woxic, he's got an AWP, but he's walking in here with a deagle. What is the matter with him? Yeah, he deserved every bit of that. Oh,
I like this. I like this so much, Chris. He's got to press the issue. He's got it. And a quick flank, and Astralis is now trapped.
What? That is Mousesports saying, sit down. That's incredibly aggressive. Rob's 24-5. They're playing just an insane. Well, he's playing an insane game, but the rest of them are too. Slight craziness from Woxic, but then this from Chris is, I mean, I think he must have had a heart attack there, Snappy.
Yeah, I like that look out of Chris and even Woxic. The Woxic one is crazy, and 99% of the time I'll hate that, but I love that they're up 14-5 and they're still being hyper aggressive and still just looking to close this out.
Bit of a chance for Device. Maybe could have seen someone. Chris will shut down another one. And this is just, I mean, like every one of these last rounds, it's a complete spiral for Astralis. There's nothing to stop the tide here. 2-on, and that's going to be it. In a matter of seconds, they take them out 16-5. No hesitation, no doubt in Astralis, sorry, in Mousesports this time. They get rid of Astralis in a 2-0 fashion, and yeah, they don't even know what hit them.
Yeah, that look from Device, that was the I'm smiling so I just don't start crying type look. Oh man,
not?
2 very rough maps for Astralis, even forcing overtime on Overpass. That was still looked haggard for most of it. This one was a stomping, a beatdown. Good for Mousesports. They're going to move on. They wipe Astralis out. And Astralis, the best team in the world for the past 2 years, eliminated from Blast Premier. We're headed to a break. We'll come back with the desk, so stay with us.
I want to talk a little bit to the esports world, but especially to you CSGO pros, about the Mamba mentality. I'm sick and tired of some of the things, some of the talking points that are coming out of these pro players. Like people saying, oh, well, I won a major, so what is there left for me to accomplish? Think it through. 2 majors, 3 majors. How about being the best you can be? If you could win 5 majors, if you could set the record, go ahead and go for that. That's what the Mamba mentality is about. It's about pursuing greatness. It's about building a legacy for yourself. It's about actually trying to be the best you can be, whatever level you're on. How about you actually try and develop your game, master your craft, leave a legacy? One day that money will be spent and all that will remain is your legacy, what you actually did and how you lived your life. How about competing to take what's yours for yours so that you can get that money, you can secure that career, they have something to look forward to in their lives. I die for people, oh man, will you live for yours? That's what I want to say, Mamba mentality, carpe diem.
Oh. Yeah, that about sums it up. Mousesports had damn well better win this tournament now because they just ruined my predictions there. Astralis just not